Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. Welcome to the MOI podcast, the MOI's live show. That's right. MOI will be in the building in a hot second, in a jiffy, as well as we have Crip Jesus. Shout out to him. I want to ask you, please, kindly, as you come in, if you could hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button wherever you're at watching this right now. Smash the subscribe button, please and thank you. But definitely hit that like button as well. Okay, family, before we get into it, I want to introduce the esteemed guest of the hour, Crip Jesus. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Peace to the kings and the queens and the guys and the goddesses and everybody else. Let's get it. I'm happy to be here, man.
Happy to have you. Before we get started, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, mainly who you are and where we can find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me. You can Google the name. It's that real now at this point. They banned me on a lot of social media, but as of right now, you can go to Instagram at Holy Crip Jesus. That's HOLYCRIPJESUS. Hashtag the Black Illuminati. Hashtag Crips Need Jesus too. You can find me on SoundCloud, Snapchat, Spotify, Apple Music, because I have a lot of music out there. That's how we started everything. But pretty soon I'm about to be dropping the Blue Bible, so you're going to be able to find me wherever books are available as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tapping in. It's only right when we have Crip Jesus up here, we got to ask, was Jesus a Naga? And Crip Jesus is definitely going to walk us through that. So I think, now is as good as time as any. Should we get right in it? First 5 minutes?
Let's go.
All right. So,
can I say, is Icky joining us?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, let's go. So,
all right. So, every Sunday, we're having Sunday school on the CrumbTv network, which is comprised of several YouTube channels and Facebook channels. It's going to be the Three Kings Dr. Inky, Crip, Jesus, and MOI is the host. So get used to that. Grab your pen and your pass, calling all master students and disciples, learned men, women, and children. Tap all the way in. All right. So with that said, this Sunday's episode was Jesus a Naga Sunday School. And we're going to get right into it. Brother, where should we start?
So right here, we're going to begin with me. I'm not going to just walk in here, say I'm Crip Jesus here. I'm here to teach y'all and just expect them to accept that. So I'm going to give them a little bit of my pedigree right here. So I became a very active member of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths in prison, which is important to present here, especially with words like Naga and Crip. You know what I mean? The 5% Nation of Gods and Earths is the only nation of the whole Black conscious community that offers this type of information just freely in the streets. That's the whole history of us. Our father Allah, the one who started our nation, left the Nation of Islam. He was a high-ranking member of, they know him as Clarence 13X in the history books, but he was a high-ranking member of the FOI, which is where these secret lessons are offered, what we call the 120. There's more to it, but there's 120 of them that we're required to memorize to become a 5%, which is a lot, because some people only have a few degrees, you know what I mean? And they call them different numbers. We literally memorize 120. And the point is that he mastered these degrees, and he had a lot of students, and he was teaching them how to defend themselves. So he mastered them on the physical level and the mental level, and so on and so forth. And he left to teach the kids in the streets. Now, I know a lot of people have their different stories, and some of them make it a race thing because the FBI and CIA got involved later on in the drug game. So a lot of the knowledge has been tampered with through the years and through the hip hop and people taking their own version. There's a lot of people calling themselves guys out here that don't even have the 120 lessons. And I pride myself in actually being a bit of an expert in them. You know what I mean? And my enlightener, Dominant Allah, is a well-known expert in them. You know what I mean? So he's basically confirmed, verified anything I'm going to break down up here. Him and Truth Allah and Supreme Understanding Allah, one of the most famous authors from the 5% Nation of Gods of Earth. Shout out to the guy. And so that's how I got initiated into this. Now, since then, I've walked through many real chambers to verify and grow and build from there. You know what I mean? When I got out, I joined the Moorish Science Temple. I was initiated by Sheikess Cynthia Smith L, Unity Temple number 80. Then I was also given some of the keys by my grandfather as far as the blue light. He's a 33rd degree Shriner, which was completely revealed to me at his funeral. That's some of the garment at his funeral right there in the background right there. You see me sitting there with the blue fez hat, and you see him right there. That's his garments right there with the blue eye and the G's. And so the point is, we're not here to play. Let's get to it. So was Jesus a Naga? And I know some people, when I showed them the cover, they said, nigga, what y'all talking about? But it said specifically Naga. And that's where I wanted to begin, because from my understanding and from how etymology is given to me, I also studied the Metu Neter before I even got introduced to etymology in the Moorish Science Temple. So Naga would be the original version of this sound. That's all.
Teach.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
So Naga would be, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. All right, so I think I lost them, so I'll just read. Naga, in Indian mythology, a member of a semi-divine race, part human, part cobra in form, associated with water and sometimes with mystical initiation. That's a Naga. These are the creations of the Anunnaki. These are the hybrid reptilians, their mythology. There we go.
Let's go.
Okay, I was just saying, and it's Naga is an Indian in Indian mythology, a member of a semi-divine race, part human, part cobra in form, associated with water and sometimes with mystical initiation.
Yes. Now, that's a breakdown, and that's true. However, if we just want to use mathematics and science and be plain and simple, any ERs or extra vowels, you get what I'm saying? We all know that comes in the time of Latin and Greek and English, and as the tongue has got more developed and more simple, but just simply the basis of it, na and ga, naga. So this obviously is one of the original forms of it. You get what I'm saying?
Teach.
So this goes back to the beginning of the 120 lessons where it says the Asiatic black man dealing with the world as one and seeing how so much of the culture was preserved in the part that's called Asia, because it still preserves even that name, you know. So it has a lot of our history there. This even goes what we were talking about in the Gullah Moors one, where I was talking about Wallace Fard not necessarily being from the Middle East, but from Pakistan and being exposed to this information. You feel me?
All facts. All facts. Next slide, or you want add more?
Peace. Next slide.
Naga, Sanskrit for serpent. In Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, a member of a class of mythical semi-divine beings, half human, again, half cobra. They are a strong, handsome species who can assume either wholly human or wholly serpentine form and are potentially dangerous, but often beneficial to humans. They live in an underground, I can't see that word. Kingdom called Nagaloka or
and then it goes on from
Natala
there. Now,
okay,
here's the point here, though.
please.
You see all through the ancient mythology, these serpent people that they call reptilians and all that when you get into, different teachings. However, you see all through these kingdoms also that they've ripped us and stripped us of our nationalities from symbols of serpents and dragons, as they call them in certain different translations, and they especially dealing with the feminine aspect. The serpent has more to do with fertility in the woman, and you see the story of Eve with the serpent. So this was very big for the Catholics and for anybody, even in Islam, anybody against the teaching of the native people, where they would enter with getting rid of the goddess worship and anything dealing with animals. So you see here this is understood in the history of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. So this is all over Asia. This is known, right? That there was a royal tribe and race of semi-divine beings known as the Nagas, now known in English as the niggas. This is real. This is factual. This is why they want to strip the word from us. This is what my belief is. I'm really glad we're clicking this off. My belief is they want to strip this word from us. The same reason they want to strip and ban Crip and blood and all that is because they have deeper meanings that we are asleep to. I didn't take the Crip off my name because it was through Crip that I learned all this stuff. I was sitting in prison. My dad doesn't even believe a lot of these things. He can't believe he sees me on the plane going around Salam Alaikum with all these different brothers, that they respect me on this level. It doesn't make sense to him. He doesn't even believe what his own father taught me. You get what I'm saying? He believes it, but you get what I'm saying? It's like, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
So when I say with the niggas, it's like, oh, don't say that word, son. And I'm saying, nah, father. We were talking about the carpenter and we're, how it breaks down that way with the Greek, or how we're talking about, right here, we're going with the Asiatic. I feel this is very important because right here, I'm about to show brothers the gap where my name comes in. While you don't want to, well, sometimes we get so hell-bent on that spooky bull crap, blah, 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 that we forget that even in that so-called spooky bull crap, there's a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that might be overlooked in your anger and in your emotions, So right here, a lot of people are so quick to dismiss. When I'm dealing with the black conscious people, the first thing they go to is, you believe in a snake talking in the ground? You believe in snakes talking? And it's like you're missing your own whole entire ancient heritage. You're skipping the snake talking. The snake is talking to you right now, baby. Big slime in flesh. Free young thug. Let's get it. Next slide.
Etymology. The word Naga in the Sanskrit language means snake or serpent. It seems likely that the Naga people were a serpent worshiping group who were later described as serpents themselves in ancient Indian literature.
Now, the first degree starts off with who is the original man. It says the original man is the Asiatic black man. It goes on from there. The last degree, which is knowledge cipher, right? So the first degree is knowledge, 1. The last degree, 1-0, knowledge cipher. So when we get deeper into cipher, it's the first thing it says in the knowledge cipher degree is that Buddhism is 35,000 years old. Then that contradicts everything I learned, because I thought Buddhism was 600 years before Jesus with Siddhartha Gautama. But what I realized when I kept reading that over and over, and I asked a bunch of different guys, what does this mean? And they didn't have a proper answer. They went with all this spizzy spazzy shit, breaking down words instead of using math, which is we're supposed to be supreme mathematicians. Mathematically, Siddhartha Gautama was born into a royal family. This is why he's light-skinned and fat in the beginning of the story. He goes out to learn the ways of peace. You can't have peace when you're connected to too many material things. This happened to me too. When I took the name Crip Jesus, everything gravitated towards me. I was full of gold, full of women. I was all over the country, but then I lost it all, and that's when I got closer with the true self that had brought me to this in the beginning. The all in all. You feel what I'm saying? And what I realized, the same thing in the story of Buddha. He leaves the palace, he becomes dark and skinny while he's out struggling and getting the knowledge, getting the wisdom to learn peace. The point is, the reason why in the lessons it says Buddhism is 35,000 years old is because the Hinduism that was there was the crazy stuff they was doing, same way it was going in Egypt, or that crazy stuff with 360 gods, same way it was going in Sumer, Babylon before it fell, or the crazy stuff with 360 guys. The same thing that was going on with Montezuma and them when they fell. The crazy stuff with 360 guys, worshiping people to them. Somebody comes and knocks them down. It's the same story each time. So this is one of the first times it happened. Way, way back, way longer than they're even saying. That's why in the lessons it says 35,000 years. According to the lessons, Wallace Farr Muhammad could quote back to 35,000 years with this Naga tribe.
You know, it's interesting that you bring up Buddha, because it is said, from my understanding, I looked it up, but I can't find it. So I got to keep it 5 million with you. I can't hold you. But if you type in Naga Buddha, you're gonna see that skinny, dark-skinned dude, and he got snakes around him. You know,
yeah.
Thick nose, wide, thick nose, full lips, nappy hair. You see the coils in the hair, and the 7-headed serpent.
Because if you take the whole, if you get off the whole racial concept, why is this and that? You see that when he became initiated and he became a Naga, now the artwork takes on the features of the Nagas.
Teach.
In the symbolism, one of the most popular symbolisms was the serpent, the dragon. I like to say dragon because it really makes people understand with the karate and everything. It gets, okay, so the dragon tribe, you feel me? He got initiated into that. He had to leave the palace and go into the woods and into the Asiatic black man. Peace, shout out to Freddie. He knows what's going on. And that's how it all begins. This is what it's talking about in the lessons. A lot of the brothers going to the Bible and the Quran and not even understanding where the lessons begin you at. Lesson born, which is 9, it says Islam has no beginning, no ending before it even says Buddhism is 35,000 years old. You feel me? They're just talking about what's written down.
Right.
Next slide, because they're talking about what's written down. There you go, right there. His story.
How old is Hinduism? Answer: 4,000 years. Contents: Hinduism is the world's oldest religion, according to many scholars, with roots and customs dating back more than 4,000 years. Today, with about 900 million followers, Hinduism is the 3rd largest religion, just behind Christianity and Islam. Roughly 95% of the world's Hindus live in India, which is the second most populated country in the world. What do you say?
Yes. So this goes to where the lessons is breaking down what's written down. Now it's saying that while as far as information was going back 35,000 years. So Hinduism, which is what we call in the lessons Buddhism, because we're saying that Buddha, Siddhartha, is basically like what Christ is to the Middle East. He came to correct. You understand what I'm saying? They had 360 gods by that time. They had a god for every day. Same thing you see going on here in America. Pretty soon we'll have a holiday, a holy day. Like it's going there. You don't see it? It's really happening before our very eyes. They're making a holy day every day for each different thing. Pretty soon it's going to be 360 gods. It's happening right before our face. You know
brother,
what I mean?
could I go back a couple of slides because I wanted to add value to something you said right here. We're dealing with oh, I'm sorry, no, I thought there was something that referred to Aramaic in it, but it was actually not Aramaic. It was Sanskrit. Please forgive me. But
okay, but here's the thing though. I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to get into that. Matter of fact, if you play that clip, because you only find this word used in Aramaic. In my studies, where else have you found it? The Nagas and the Nigas.
no, I totally agree, and that was my first thought. That's why I wanted to mention, if you look in the Bible, the Semitic languages coming from Aramaic sources, in part, it says, because remember, the serpent never spoke. The Naga never spoke to Adam. The Naga spoke to Eve, the divine feminine. It is suggested that the old Hebrew name Eve also bears resemblance to an Aramaic word for snake. Back to you, brother.
Well, the snake is the Naga. The snake is the N, the N, in reverse, in the Ra, the and the G, the Ga, energy. The Naga is the energy. That's why the female is more emotional. She's more in tune with the energy all in the air. She feels the vibe. She's wide open. She's receptive. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a science there. Now, as far as written history of the Nagas, because we're asking, was Jesus a Naga? Well, if you skip to it, was Jesus of the God tribe? Which tribe is this? So of the Naga tribe, the ones that all our cultures and religions claim there was some serpent king gods, the dragons, going all around the world. There's actually a written script. See, everybody says Bible this, Bible that, but there's an old written script about them. Right here.
Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is one of the two major Sanskrit epics of ancient India in Hinduism. Next slide. Or
yes, sir.
The Mahabharata epic begins with history of Nagas in astonishing detail. Spanning the initial chapters in the first book, Adi Parva, these chapters were distributed into 3 sub-volumes called Paushai,
Paloma
Azteca. Okay, Azteca.
Now check this out though, because
Okay.
you sitting here with the blue guy. I know a lot of people think I'm always talking some Crip this and Crip that, but the reason why it just so happened, it's no coincidence when that I wear the blue is because just like in the movie Avatar, you see the color of the person driving the vehicle there.
Come on.
They're blue. They say blue black. You understand what I'm saying? They're talking about the Nagas. The blue genie in Aladdin.
Teach.
The blue Smurfs. You see their name is Elf, Alif, the Owl. You know what I'm saying? The blue light, masonry. You understand what I'm saying? Back to him being a carpenter. So
brother, actually, if I could just pause you right there, please forgive me. In the spirit of blue and the blue god, I want to bring in the perfect trifecta, because I've actually got to go, but I wanted to pass the reins over to none other than the Minister of Information. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Peace.
You just got to hit that unmute button.
There we go. Peace and love, everybody. Apologize for talking. I had to handle some business real quick, but I am here. And I was listening in, like y'all boys are already going in, so please continue. Let's continue to get this bill going.
Actually, within that spirit, I wanted to also just acknowledge the third king within the perfect trifecta, Dr. Inky. Dr. Inky, how are you? Just hit that good unmute button.
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm good. Y'all was going in though. So I just want to be a fly on the wall right now. Y'all was Crip going in.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna play the back. I think MOI, Crip Jesus, and Inky got it from here. What say you, gentlemen?
Let's do it.
Happy to be in the building.
Peace. Yeah, next slide. So, like I was saying, the first written record, his story of the what I call the blue gods, what we'll say the Nagas here, since we're revealing them, that those two vows, the gods of Hinduism were a race of gods called Nagas. So you see in the Mahabharata is the first written record, and I go back to what I was saying with the lessons with the higher degrees of Islam, that while it's far revealed, this is what he begins with. He says Islam has no beginning, no ending. He starts us with the Buddha being from a tradition that goes back 35,000 years. You feel me?
Damn.
And I just say that to say, I know a lot of times when I break this down for dudes, they might be, oh, he's getting into Hinduism. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, it's us. You know what I mean? You got to just have the keys. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
So
Next
I'm
slide.
Pull up. Give me a second to pull up the presentation for you real quick. Chrome just log
But nah, yeah, because
continue, please.
I don't know if you can bring the picture back up, because he's sitting there with two women and he got a blunt in his hand or something. And his servant is like got like his servant got like the Baphomet head. Wow. And it blew me away. I said, damn, this is like the holy grail of the pictures, right? So he's sitting there. I even want to say he got like locks or something, but he got like, he got like that Indian, that good black, and it's coming down. He got two women next to him. You know what I mean? He got something to blow in his hand. He had like a servant next to him, and then he's got somebody holding like a staff, and they got like the Baphomet head, and they're next to him. So this is the race that was ruling throughout Asia. And what's very important about it being Asiatic and it being Asian.
Was this Buddha, bro? Was this Buddha?
Say again, bro.
Was this Buddha?
Well, no. This is where I say the lesson is kind of revealed, because this is one of the Nagas, right?
Okay.
But in the lessons, it says Buddhism is 35,000 years old. So for what I got from when I built with certain guys, what I broke down was, and what me and Truth Allah broke down was that, or no, even when I read Elijah and he breaks it down himself, is that Buddha restored, you know what I'm saying, the concept of the one God to them. They had already made it to 360 gods in Hinduism, just like you see later in Egypt. It's like you see later in Babylon, or I would say before Egypt. But you get what I'm saying? Like you see in a lot of different civilizations. You see later in the Aztec culture when they got here.
You notice that number though, that 360.
Mm-hmm.
The 360 gods. That was just bringing forth the one anyway. 360 is 100%.
Well, their understanding, let me say, I see at this point they had a divided understanding. They got like people doing all these rituals that don't make sense at this point. Preachers coming out and working you saying sacrifice your little baby to the river because the river god says so. It's like they got 360 motherfuckers doing this. Like it's like okay,
yeah. They had the chakras going too.
Hey, Crip, I just tapped into that PowerPoint, but it's saying I guess you got to give me access, permission to log into it fully. That makes sense because it's on the share drive. Google share drive. I'm sure I'm talking about right quick.
Say it again.
Right see that?
Yeah.
You see that right there? Yes. So on your end, you got to give me permission to log into it. But
okay.
Crumb
got the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. I'm tapping on here real quick, man. But let me try to find that picture though, because I want to find out what he had in his hand. Because now I'm fucking
because
curious.
basically after that I showed
what god is that?
The Buddha. That was Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Mm-hmm. That was big Vishnu kicking it.
Yeah. There we go. All right. I got a picture now. And this is the part that I'm not really that in tune with is the I guess the Indian deities, or when it comes to
see the thing was it was an actual statue. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna paint it however they paint it, but in the statue, they paint it, they're gonna take the blunt out, they're gonna take Baphomet out, they're gonna take the hose out, he ain't gonna look like a Naga no more. you know.
A nigga.
So
I got you. So all these are Nagas, and I want y'all. Those of y'all. My mic is muffled. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
It's my mic muffled. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you sound good. I heard you already.
Sister said.
well, you can even type in this how cold the Naga tribe goes, right? You could even type in the Naga kingdom, and they actually ruled in about like the 3rd century. Like they ruled even later on. Like they try to keep it ancient with the serpents and all that. They want to keep you back there so you think it's this crazy thing. But they had the Naga kingdom in about the 3rd and 4th century.
Hey, you know what? It's crazy is that just to add on to what you're saying, you know, the Naga kingdom stretched all the way from Africa all the way up into Asia. And that's a lot of where the connection with the Asian, you know, it's a coincidence. Now, you know, I'm not one to believe in coincidence, but I'm going to leave the room for people to go ahead and have coincidence. But there's a coincidence that's how it's listed. That's how it's discussed.
Mm-hmm.
That the first atomic bombs in history was dropped on Nagasaki,
See,
the land of the black gods, you know, and in Nagasaki, you know, they had all of these big, huge, humongous black god statues, and like it was, you know, it's gone now, but you know, it's a coincidence that the first bombs was dropped on Nagasaki, and you know, so
okay, look, MOI, look how these devils want to do. So they still want to go back to the Mahabharata and make it folklore. But there's an actual. I'm trying to figure out how to type it. It's a certain way you gotta type it. There's a Naga kingdom. Put 3rd century. There's a Naga kingdom of the 3rd and 4th century. Like not even that long ago. Like way after Jesus.
This thing right here.
Here we go. Right there. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
See, they don't even want to show no pictures of them. How y'all got pictures of the fake Nagas, but y'all got pictures of the real Nagas in the 3rd century?
Okay, so look, this is going back to what somebody had just posted a second ago about this going all the way back to Kemet, right?
Yes, what Inky said.
Yeah. Okay, so it goes back to Kemet
because it said the Kushan Empire.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you keep catching all these empires over here in India around that time that have Indus Kush. You know, Hindu Kush, Indus Kush, Kushan. Now this is around the time of the Nagas. See?
And you know, they forget about the Khmer kingdom. Khmer. If you type that in, it'd go crazy. The Khmer kingdom was much more recent.
What is
so
it?
It been niggas running around, running wild for a minute. Khmer. Go back.
Hell yeah.
M.
You can't bring up any slides if I send them to you?
Yeah, if it's send directly to me, I can. But listen to
M-E-R.
M-E-R.
E. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. See, no. You just hit the hidden. Oh, you just killed them. That's going all the way to Southeast Asia. See, now we getting into like the
Yeah. That's where it gets
and it's
crazy.
The same name.
Yeah, those are the people from that took after Horus, and so they whole program over there. They was.
Let me send you some of these slides real quick.
Yeah, they do that.
Yes,
go ahead.
Sir.
Continue. I'm saying, could do your build so I can send some of these slides real quick.
Oh no! I'm just saying that they these people they had Horus. A lot of what they was doing was to the god Horus, and so a lot of people don't know that the Nagas, the niggas, we had, it was that whole area. So a lot of times, I just try to keep the brothers coming back unified, because we got so much division going on, but we don't realize we had one big, huge kingdom, and a lot of things that we experience, other parts of our culture experience, like the Khmer people. They listed as having one of the most brutal oppressions from, European folks and other folks. Yeah, Angkor Wat. Come on now. And, if you look at their hieroglyphs and what they did with the stone, because they was definitely, they masonry there was their masonry there is maybe the only place that could challenge what was done in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? Like what they did with the stone out there is magnificent. And they even had trees that they incorporated into the trees was incorporated like into their family. Like the trees was defenders. Like they just looked at the you know, nature as living, and they was in tune with it. So even now the trees are like still protecting, you know, they had to, in order to get in there and take it over, they had to get rid of a lot of the trees and all that, because the trees was covering the like the trees was part of the buildings. Like it's crazy over there. And so
but the Cambodians, it's showing the Cambodians aren't they like people eater?
Well, right now, what we know of as Cambodians is not those original people that was there. So they was, you know, the original people got invaded and mixed, and a lot of, you know, Genghis Khan, and it's a whole lot of crazy history over there. But the original people ain't there no more. So what we look at now as the Cambodians is not the original Khmer people.
Okay.
But here's what I found in East Asia, right? Down there where they have the Khmer, and down where they have the Japanese and the Philippines, you'll find tribes of small people called Anu.
Woo!
Or Anu, right?
Woo!
That's coming right from where you're saying East Africa.
Yeah.
So, like, but they're like you said, they're not the populace. They're like how we have native, you know what I mean? And small indigenous little group.
Right.
Side. And then like I noticed with those that are mixed, they in East Asia, I found the word Oromo. Or Mordo, like in Philippines, Bangsa Mordo, but they'll be with the Moors. They're pushing like more, like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But they're like usually mixed. You know what I'm saying? Like they have like the bridge.
Well, remember, without the vowels, you still dealing with that kind of, you know, if you remove the vowels from the, you know, it's Khmer, it's you know, it's still you have that all throughout, interwoven throughout the motif as well. You know what I'm saying? Throughout that. So
yeah.
It's all one big family.
So did you get the slides yet?
Yeah,
I'm going to it, huh?
Yeah, I got them. I'm about to upload them right now.
Because I'll just warm it up. Because the next thing I really touched on.
Oh, please continue. Go ahead, bro. Is
that the Nagas, when they keep saying supernatural and divine and half, is they were believed to you know, share characteristics with animals, right? It could be anything from shape shifting, or if you want to get deeper and say, you know, you're tapping into that part of your mind with the animal, or however you want to go to it, right? I think the point I was trying to open people's mind to was that it's not just the serpent, right? So you see like the Minotaur in Greek, or the mermaid in Greek, you know, or you see like the Sag,
or even in Kemet, you got Horus the falcon. You got every one of the deities in Kemet all had an animal form. It was always
Hold on one second, because I can't sit here and we keep talking about no goddamn Kemet. Okay, and all them animals you see in Kemet are from America. Ain't no goddamn eagles and hawks in Africa nowhere. Let's be honest. Let's be straight up. You can't find a goddamn hawk in Africa. All those animal deities in ancient Egypt are from America. I don't like that African shit like that. I don't like that, because we know all this shit about Asian Africa. Don't know nothing about the totem poles here in North America where we live, and our grandma and great grandma were born right here, not in no damn African Asia. So we look at those animals from ancient Kemet. All right, let's study those animals. None of those animals you see are from over there. They're from all over here. We already put that to bed already. All right, so we keep saying ancient Egypt got the Horus head. I want y'all to go to Google. I'll Google it for you. Ain't no damn falcons in Africa.
Well, I know what I've come across is that those animals were brought there just like the horse was brought over here by us, right? That we actually came from the Mississippi, which is the Great River, because the word now is Greek for great. The Great River, the Mississippi River, which is naturally great. From my understanding, what Noble Drew Ali puts in the Circle 7 is that we traveled to the land that's now called Africa, and we we drug up that river called the Nile River, and we brought those animals. So it's not so much just a lie, it's just a deeper truth, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I think we had a global civilization. So we I think that's probably where the lie is that the people from Kemet or Egypt or Africa was limited there, and that the people from America were limited here when originally, we navigated the globe. So we shared.
Well, that's going to higher degrees, because from my understanding, once I went to the temple, they're saying that the natives were here, right? And we drug up the river over there. So we took the hawk over there. We took a certain animal. Okay, for example, the camel. Am I wrong? Or I don't want to put no fault. If I'm not mistaken, the camel originates in North America.
Right.
I'm in student mode. I'm in student mode. I'm listening to the minister.
No. The brother's all wise, right, and exact. I'm glad you brought that up. The camel came from here a couple 100,000 years ago.
Yeah. So that's an example of the North American royal, people that we're talking about, these Nagas that are related with these animals, bringing them with them.
Yeah, camels first evolved in North America 44 million years ago. There wasn't no, see what I'm saying? There was no goddamn Egypt 44 million years ago.
44 million years ago.
Come on, man. That's why, listen, anytime somebody go talking about Asia and Asiatics, and man, y'all better come back over here. That's a distraction. They keep y'all looking off the front porch, which is East Coast to Africa. Look off the back porch, which is California, and look that way, and you'll see Mu. And then you'll see why Asia is considered to be all ye Asiatics, etc., so on and so forth. The Bering Straits, they're coming over here and amalgamating with the old Mac, right? And then the old Mac turned into the Toltec, turned into the Mestec, and all that kind of stuff going on. You get the true history. Because if I pull up Hoshan and the Ming Dynasty, there's a whole other conversation going to switch over talking about Asiatics and Naga and all this other kind of stuff, because the Hoshan Dynasty were the progenitors of the Nagas who came over here to North America on the Bering Straits. So it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with this stuff, man. And I got your stuff up right now. But it's a lot to deal with it, bro.
Me personally, just feeding it to the people, I like to work my way backwards. Yes, so that's why I never took the Crip off my name, because that's when I get into the whole the California and the Washita.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm waiting on right there, bro.
But
I got you. I got your picture coming up.
But I will say this.
That's no.
I had the little PowerPoint, right? Because there was a point we was going here with the PowerPoint, but I'm glad it didn't come up. I like it better like this. This is saucy, right? I was going to go back to. There's only one school of thought I found, a popular school of thought. There's probably a bunch of school of thoughts there, but there's only one popular school of thought I found in the Middle East that dealt with these animal people in the multitude, as opposed to just a serpent people or camel people or this. And that was in Islam. They talk about the Jinn people, right? Okay, here we go. That's the last slide. Can we start from the top? Okay, now, just like Jesus and Muhammad, Siddhartha Gautama taught his people the ways of their ancestors. That's what I gathered from the knowledge cipher, the 10th degree of the student enrollment, is that when he's saying Buddhism going back 35,000 years, the one y'all calling Buddha was a messenger to tell you that all that stuff in Hinduism is yourself. The one y'all calling Jesus was a messenger to tell you all that stuff y'all looking at in Egypt is within yourself. Muhammad, same thing. Now, what I'm saying is going back to what we were talking about, to go back to the West and who these people actually are and where these hawks and all that come from. That's what the next slide is. From my reading, all the animals that are projected in Egypt, pharaohs and gods, are all native to North America. But correct me if no, you're 100% right. That's what we're about to go into right now, brother. Hey, y'all far ahead. Let's get to it. In Arabic, the only race they talk about a race that's you know what I'm saying, with the animal, human, morphin, and all that, the same animals, call them Jinn. Right? So before that, the slide was going to say Greek, when they show the Minotaur, the mermaid. You know what I'm saying? Asia, when they show the Naga, that's where the name is revealed. Now here in Arabic, they say Jinn, but I'm about to show something. What I like about the Quran in Arabic is they always deal with the tribal names. That's what I'm showing here.
Oh, because they're not in order, so just let me know when to stop. Go.
I think I skipped something, but we can go back. We can go back. It's good. I can explain it. Okay, so I skipped one, but it's good. the J on the Jinn,
Uh-huh.
what you really got there, if you take off the if you look at the syllables, is Ja and Nu. Ja Nu. You have the Ja and the Nu. That N was added in. So you have the Ja and the Nu, right? So J
Okay.
is Nu. That's in English. But even the Y is Greek. So going all the way back, you would have Ah and Nu. Anu.
Wait a minute. All right. So you saying the Jinn is really Anu?
Yeah. You have the Ja and the Nu. Jon, Janu, right? And there's no J going back. They translate their name to that. I'm not saying it's false, but whoever their ancestors were would have just been Anu.
Damn. Okay.
Now I gotta show and prove that. So this is where I break that down. So the Anu, according to records that I found with studying through Muada Ashby, Ra'an, Nephraman, and just even looking up records, you see a lot of those gods with the name Anu on the end, or Ani, or Oni. And I got from that Anu. So Anu and right to left would be Nu'ah, Noah. Even with the Kah, Enoch, or Khan, right? These are the original rulers. This goes back to what you're saying. This shows that the original rulers of Asia were not from there. These are the aliens, as they call them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Damn. Huh?
Yeah, it was a global civilization.
Teach, man. Teach.
Where's Bond?
I'm being a math student right now. And I want the listening audience to understand, like, the original PowerPoint that I did. Well, I ain't the original PowerPoint. I got the pictures uploaded. So as we're going through the photographs, the brother is just really going off the muscle with the photographs, and this shit is blowing my mind because I'm learning a whole different aspect of the shit right now that I never heard before. So
yeah,
let loose on this shit, bro. God damn.
So from going through the lessons, what we gathered was, and this is going to the records of the Egyptians, right? Now, in the lessons, he says that the Qurans, you look at the book, but he says in Egypt, they had a bunch of Qurans of all these different 25,000 year cycles, right? And still, even in the Greek version, they call it pre-dynastic. So they have lists of pharaohs and where the sun was positioned and how the earth was positioned in different times, periods, in different dynasties before the dynasties that we have now, the 33 we have, the 32, I believe. So even they claim a time of the gods, of people before them who look different, who were taller, bigger, you know what I mean, more fingers, whatever. So the Anu are the ancestors of the pharaohs. Then we get Anunnaki, like the Anunnaki.
Okay.
So Anu Nagas, because the Gah is Greek. It's come from the Gah, the Gah.
The Anu are the ancestors of the pharaohs.
Anunnaki. That they make so many. Yeah, the humanoid, tall, that they talk about so much. It's
So are you tapping into
Anu.
You tapping into the Sumerians or the pre-Sumerian culture?
The Sumerians.
Inky and okay.
Where's Bond? Yeah, so they call them Anunnaki as a total, right? I'm saying if you break it down etymologically, they're the Anu Nagas. They're the Anu niggas. These are the ones that the Egyptians claim to be descent from.
So I think I'm getting confused, and you have to pardon my ignorance. You're saying that the Egyptians come from them.
Yeah, where's Bond? They come. The Egyptian pharaohs claim to come from them. They know that they don't come. They know that they're not native. They come from them. That's why they had the hook heads.
The only thing that I'm a little confused on is the pre-dynastic period of Egypt, going back to Doja.
To where?
Doja built the first step pyramid. Yeah, he built the first step pyramid, and going all the way.
Okay, yeah.
And going all the way back to Gab, Shu, and Tefnut, which are considered to be the Ennads. That the ancient Ennads predate the Nana Sin, and the Nana Sin, and I'll show you in a second. The Nana Sin or later what we call the Anunnaki and dealing with what's his name? Dude with the one eye, Sargon.
Well, we're saying the same thing then. I'm saying I'm saying Anunnaki is a later name of these Nagas. I'm saying it's a totality name for them.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm just trying to put this shit together. That's crazy. Damn. Continue, bro. I'm learning.
Next slide.
My pen and pad. Take some damn notes.
So Ethiopia is Abyssinia in Arabic, from Abyssinia, because Arabic's a mixture. A lot of dudes think it's some ancient, perfect language, and it's not.
I didn't ancient about Arabic at all. Totally agree with that shit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Somebody's hating on this. So let me leave and come back. I can't hear y'all.
So Dr. Eagle, let me ask you a question. Can you hear me, Inky?
I can hear you, yes, sir.
According to what you know, does the ancient Sumerian culture predate ancient Egypt?
Man, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I have seen both. I've seen both schools of thought.
Peace. Am I back live?
Yeah, you good, bro. You here?
So a lot of people, I know in more science, he was against the word Ethiopia. And that threw me for a loop, because the first thing that ever got me to study, even though I'm a well-known 5%er and I pride myself in it, the first thing that ever got me to read and study, not saying I had read before, but to read anything with knowledge itself, was Rastafarianism, because it was the first thing I could actually see somebody. Now, I learned what I learned about it later there, but I'm saying it was the first thing I actually see a ruler. It wasn't no thousands of years ago. It wasn't no hundreds of years ago. Arabic is a Creole language formed by the surrounding tribes. Exactly. So, what I say that to say, I had an affinity for the word Ethiopia because what it drew me to understanding of the nation. But I learned later on it was called Abyssinia. And I said, okay, well, what's so special about this name? It's not the original name neither, Kush and all that. But what I learned was Abyssinia is actually the name that was called by the Turks, which is a mixture.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose the brother again?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
They don't want to talking. Y'all want the brother talking. So look, we're gonna get into right now until you come back, because that's a question that I have. Ancient, watch this.
I think that the brothers get into that a lot when you see the Israelites going against the kind of the Kemetic communities, because the Israelites kind of tap into the Sumerian community as a part of their ancestral journey. So you kind of hear both sides of the argument, and they go into the
man, they hating hard. They hating hard, y'all. They hating hard. We about to get to the shit.
So I just asked Dr. Inky a question, and I want to build on this real quick, because I think your next slide, your next picture is gonna kind of deal with the same thing too, what I was just seeing. But so this right here is called the ancient Ennads. These are the 9 primordial deities. You got a lot of who I call Hotep niggas who love to talk about Mayat. Mayat came during the Greek rule. Like, Mayat is a whole Greek deity. It's nothing to do with so-called black people, right? So you have the ancient Ennads, which was a group of 9 deities in ancient Egypt. And they worship at Heliopolis. And this is going back to the sun god Atum. You had Atum, Aton, and Atom. Those are the 3. These 3 sun gods, Atum, Aton, and Atum, are the 3 great lights on the altar, Dr. Inky, and Freemasonry. Did you know that? Those are the 3 great sun gods that you kneel to on the Masonic altar. Atum, Aton, and Atum. These are those 3 candles represent the 3 deities of Heliopolis. His children, Shu, Tefnut, their child, Geb, and Nut, and their children, Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephilus. The enneat sometimes included Horus and the son of Asit and Ashir. Osiris and Isis here, but the real names. So you have a pantheon of deities, 9. These are the first 9 deities, period. There was no Mesopotamia at this point.
No, I definitely tap in with the enneat. I usually talk about the enneat because you got Heliopolis and then you got Hermopolis as well, and you deal with the Ogdoad and the hidden one. So
the Ogdoad are the other ones. Yeah, the Ogdoad are the other ones. Now from the Ogdoads in the enneat, you have watch this shit right here. And it's gonna go back to what bro was just saying.
But I want to stick to the enneat, right? From the way I'm breaking it down, it's the same thing because you're saying the E is just Latin or Spanish going towards the west. It's still the ah in the nah. And the id is just like saying ik or ak, like the plural, right? Like in Hebrew. It's still the anu ids, like you get what I'm saying? Enudes, like you know what I mean?
But here's what I'm saying, contrary to what you're saying. The Anunnaki, they are the new niggas from the Egyptian deities. The Egyptian deities were first. The Anunnaki came after that. Mesopotamia developed after.
Well, I'm saying they all copied each other's. They all copied the old. It's all that same story. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you. I just want to point that out.
Because I know what they teach us in the lessons is we're not gonna find like this special name or nothing. It's like it's that's why it's the Nagas. They don't say nigger or nigga. Like it's us though. It's like nothing's new under the sun. You feel me? So Ethiopia is Abyssinia in Arabic. Like I was saying, the India is Latin. So the root of it is the Abus. In their tongue is the Habisha, which is Sheba in the English Bible. Everybody, the Queen of Sheba, Queen of the South. That's dealing with Ethiopia, Aksum, Kenya, Kush, all that over there. Now, I'm not saying that to be the root. I'm saying this. From my understanding, after the time of Atlantis and all that, when everything was destroyed, this was the reason why we came from the West to build this up. You get what I'm saying? And brought those things over here. Next slide. So to build on this tribe, right? Now this is very important because this goes into what you're saying, and I'm very hard on that what you're saying too. I just learned that sometimes I got to give it to them a certain way. So the ones who came from the Mississippi, the mound builders who came, from my understanding, when the 18th dynasty started, it was called the New Kingdom because they had fell so far from the ways of their original kingdom. You know what I mean? And they had to actually come back. So these were like, this is why a lot of the 18th dynasty rulers are not buried amongst the other rulers and things, you know what I mean? And shit like that, or with the Kenaton and all that, and they look different. So from my understanding, what I broke down, even the technology they find of the New Kingdom after the 18th dynasty and all that, and that was passed down to France. You see, Armana, right to left, would be like Normandy. You feel what I'm saying? So you have the Normandy dynasty in West Europe later on with this same technology passed down. So where this all comes into play, where it all intersects at, where you'll see these animals from the West, where you'll see these rulers that look like this, that the same people that ended up returning back to the West. Islam calls Virgin Mary of the Bible by her tribal name, Maryam bin Imran.
Which means what?
Okay, meaning Maryam, which is important because Mary is like the short Latin version. So Maryam, you'll see a lot in East Africa. You'll see a lot around the Mediterranean. And then bin, so it's like the Hebrew, and the child, meaning child of Imran. So that's the name of the actual tribe. So I'm going to get into that if you go to the next slide.
Okay. And again, this is not in the order, so I don't know how it's going to go there.
Well, damn, what's the hell is the...
I mean, we can go back and forth to it.
Okay, yeah.
Pull it
So
up.
you keep going. That was the last one.
Yeah, these are pictures.
There's nothing on there with the Egyptian stuff.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. Just tell me what it is. I can pull it up for you.
Okay. Now, but I'm gonna show you something though before we even go to it. Well, no, let me get it. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Let me go to this though, so we can build on this before I go.
Okay.
You send it to you.
Take your time.
Can you go back a little bit? So right now, no, go back to that.
Okay, this one?
Because this was out of place. The Anu in India and in Egypt. The word Anu, now look what I was talking about, right? So we know whatever they dug up wasn't written in English or Latin or none of that. So it's the sound, the Ahananu. The word Anu, which we come across in the proto-history of India and Egypt. Let's go back to what you were saying. Get your head out of just Africa or whatever, right? This was the whole, like Inky was saying, they had a global civilization. So from my understanding, a lot of things came here in the middle. So the proto-history of India and Egypt could not be properly explained, meaning that the Egyptians and the Indians did not understand these people. They were not from there. Could not be properly explained before the discovery of the so-called Hindu civilization. Now we may try to study its origin and its meaning with much greater hope of success in our undertaking. The Anu in India. The Anu are one of the 5 Rigvedic tribes. They are mentioned as having brought a chariot for the use of Indra. So even the old ancient Indians who we look up to, who they put their head up their butt so much, they look up to these Nagas. You feel what I'm saying? Now they called them Nagas. They were called amongst themselves what you were saying, Anu. So as a tribe, they would be Anu or Anuid. You know what I mean? So that is their name. Naga is what they were called by these people. Same thing you see with in right to left, Naga be Ghana, right? So this is a name given to them, I believe, on a national level. Because you see later on, it's only for the rulers, like the Nigas.
Right. Now, I didn't see it in your picture collection, but
okay, I'm about to send it right now. If y'all could build more than I knew, I'm gonna send it right now because it's very important.
Go ahead, continue. I just got a couple questions on that though. Let me pull it up over here while you're doing that, because I want to know how that relates to.
Did you get what I just said? I just sent two pictures, but they're that damn important that I had to wait for them because I would have just went off the head, you know me. But let's get it. The name Imran, you know, and it's important because I haven't found this anywhere else but the Quran. And even when I build with a lot of Muslims, they overlook it. They stay stuck on, you know, what the Prophet was wearing, you know, what he was drinking, and you know, stuff like that. What color was his beard, you know? But when you get into the mathematics, you know, and you look at the timing, if you're a person that's into Egypt so much, you have to look at this because it draws right back to where you tie in Jesus and Egypt and all that.
All right.
Now, in the meantime, while you're doing up, you can go to Exodus 6:20.
Exodus 6:20?
Yeah.
Exodus 6:20. That's it?
Yeah. So you see Amram. This is a translation. So this goes to show what I'm saying is I don't really have no contention with none of y'all with the names y'all saying because y'all really well versed on that more than me. A lot of it I've learned have to do with the translation. Sometimes they're hiding words. Sometimes it has to do with the geographical thing. I've learned more A's, or a lot of words that start with A's or commonly start with I's in the Arabic. You know what I mean? So you get the Abraham becomes Ibrahim. And you see that's about the Brahmins, the Al-Ibrahims. You know what I mean? So I see right here Al-Imran or Ali Imran, who's the 34th surah in the Quran. He's the family of Jesus and so on and so forth. Right here in the Bible, he's called Amram.
Mm-hmm.
Now this goes into masonry with the ram, Amun-Ra. You know what I mean? When you break it down, because it's the Armana dynasty. This is the tribe that started the Armana dynasty. So Amram marries his father's sister, Jochebed, who bore him Aaron and Moses. Amram lived 137 years. Aaron and Moses, if I'm not mistaken, are the heads of the priests of the royal people.
Hey, just real quick for the number heads out there, y'all know that 137. That's sometimes it could be you know, the fine structure constant, which is where you get the 33rd prime number, and yeah. So that's kind of yep.
And listen, I want to remind both of y'all guys right quick, right? We're dealing with a multitude of master students and disciples. So the people in the chat know a lot of shit. Like, they know a lot more. So
I'll even prove this through math then.
So
Surah 333, which is no coincidence, Surah 333 is the surah that talks about this.
Talks about what? Amram,
who they call Imran in Arabic. I don't know if you got that picture yet.
Yeah, I do. I'm about to pull it up right now. Let's see what we're dealing with.
But okay, go back before that. Right before that. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it was a bunch of stuff we missed. Okay, here we go. With the Anu and all that. Oh man, yeah. Oh shit, hold on. So she's named Miriam bin Imran, right? Imran is the native tribe of Egypt called Armana in Latin. So if you type it in, either one of them, Imran or Armana dynasty, that's all gonna pop up.
Just take this right here and see what happens. This right here. It's correct right here.
Say it again.
It's correct name of right here.
Amram. Then you can also type in Amarna dynasty. See, this is what I'm saying. A lot of the names in the historical books are different than what they translated to in the later Greek or Latin or French 2,000 years later. You know what I'm saying? So Amram is the name we find in the Bible, in the Hebrew, when they translate it. It's there, though. You see, say in the book of Exodus, it says it right there. But then you have Imram, and you can look it up. It's going to tell you that. You can type in Imram and Amram. It's going to tell you that they're a translation of each other.
Going back to I-10. I told you. See right there? I-10.
Mm-hmm.
I-10. I told y'all. Those are the three deities. Okay. It's now what?
So it's no coincidence that these are the people. You feel me?
So let me ask this question then. Since we dealing with this right here, because now I want to ask some questions. Because now I have more questions than answers for you. All right. So how do the Hebrews, supposed Hebrews, fit in with this polemic? Because I heard you mentioning Egypt and you mentioned Cush, and we mentioned different types of atonement. Can you tie this back in to the Bible itself when dealing with the people called the Hebrews?
Because we're dealing with nationality. So they're feeding us this story of Hebrews, and we're saying, well, who are they? There's nobody that spoke English that called themselves Hebrew. So come to find out, they were the Nagas and the this and the that, and we're finding out who they really were. So the native people of Egypt who lived in this area, this city still exists. That's the next slide. This city still exists. It's named after the tribe. So Tel El Armana is the city that the tribe had left empty 2,000. You look, type in Tel El Armana, name to the Beni Imram tribe, who the Arabs found when they went in there.
Damn, bro. You put me on some shit right now. So it's called Tel El.
Yeah, Tel El Armana.
Oh shit. That's the one got me buying some shit, man. Damn. So this is a whole city, or is it a people?
It's an empty city where Akhenaton is actually named Akhenaton. The Arabs named it Tel El Armana after the Beni Imran tribe.
Damn. That's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. So this is the actual tribe. This is what I be meaning when I say the lost tribe of Jesus. But this is why I say the Crip on the front, because I realized, like what you said, that they are from the West. This is why they weren't buried there or none of that.
Oh, they're not from that. So they're not the same.
This is why they look different. Their bodies are longer. They have longer limbs.
So are these people the same people as the Beta Israel people? Beta
Say it
Israel?
again.
Beta
Yeah,
Israel.
because Beta, this is the thing. Beta Israel is mixed on both ends, because the Beta Israel have the native blood of them, of the Cushites, and they have the mixed blood of the Habisha and the Haribu later on in the north. But they're the actual ones, though. They're the ones they're talking about with those names, those stories. They're the ones who were enslaved in the Nile River and fighting their own people and went down south and went back royal and believed in one God. I'm gonna prove it to you too. I'm so glad them slides came back. Everything comes at perfect timing. Because there's an actual, the older pharaohs had that last name, Anu.
So these
that
are
becomes Janu, that becomes Jinn, that becomes Genie. I had a picture of Aladdin as a blue genie coming out the bottle to show him with the vest and the fez hat.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Okay, all right. I'm trying to keep them following this on. All right, cool.
So in the Quran, it says Allah brought the Jinn, who I'm saying is the Janu, the Anu, out before Adam from a smokeless fire. Smokeless fire would be Atom, the light. Ra, Aminra, Amarna, Imran. And that's some of the students they're writing in their books, their paper and pens in Armana in the 18th dynasty. This really the gods. So I think the next slide or under that is the pharaoh I was talking about, whose name is actually Anu. There we go. I had another slide where we're showing that his name, Nefer-Ka, means God body. So this is why I related to the streets, because there's a lot of that ancient culture. Like you see the paisley print on the bandanas. You feel what I'm saying? That's Hindu. So there's a lot of the Naga culture, the ancient Asiatic Naga culture, that really came from here and remained here west of the Mississippi River.
Hold on, bro. Slow down. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
You said the print on the bandana is what now?
The paisley print on the bandana is Hindu.
It's called paisley print.
That's a Scottish name though. The real name is just look it up. Benda Joka. Give me a second. You look that up. I'm gonna go back. The blue guy gonna bring it out. It's a Hindu spiritual thing.
Put me on goddamn game, man.
Yeah, bro. A lot of what we think we know about clothes today. Let me see if I can pull up something for you real quick. I would love to share.
Boten Jing. Let me look. Lord have mercy. Boten.
Shadow Band, we're gonna bring you on the live. Brother on here going in. Brother Shadow Band going in. Every time y'all say something, the brother
you can hit the you can hit the share for me real quick.
Is you right here?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let me just play this.
Stolen from African tribes and given them no credit at all. The Louis Vuitton monogram was made in 1896, but parts of it was actually stolen from a Quili tribal mask. The Louis Vuitton damier bean was stolen from the Cuba chief's formal attire from the Cuba kingdom in Congo, Africa. The Versace Greca print was also stolen from the Cuba tribe and the Fumban tribe in Cameroon. The Louis Vuitton men's collection in 2012 was inspired by the Masai shuka, a traditional African blanket cast in colourful shades of red and blue. The design stolen from the Maasai tribe of Kenya and Tanzania. Louis Vuitton also created in 2014 the tribal mask chain wallet. Is it just inspiration or is it cultural appropriation? And should these tribes be compensated with the profits that these brands are getting? Exposing the luxury brands who have stolen from African tribes and given them no credit at all. The Louis Vuitton monogram was made in 1896.
Damn.
So just confirming, you know, what you were saying about the stolen from Africa, you know, from the continent.
Well, no, not Africa, because it's Hindu. So go back to what the guy was saying, they're keeping us in Asia and Africa. And what I'm revealing is that the gods of Asia and Africa that they said came from somewhere else really came from the west of Mississippi. What we talk about, that's why I keep the Crip on the front, to show the gods that we was already over here calling each other nigga and wearing paisley print and all that. And with Arabian horses and shit, with Persian hoes from all around the world. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I looked it up. It's called B-O-T-E-H. Boti or Buta. It's Persian.
So one more time. B-O-T?
B-O-T-E-H. You might have to type paisley next to it or something so to catch, but or B-O-T-E-H print or something. There we go. Now you see Paisley Designs. This is them putting their name on it. Paisley's a city in Scotland.
Damn.
So when the Nagas was ruling, this is what they wore. You know what I mean? They had the animals and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the camel, 44 million years old in North America. So they brought that with them too. That goes into the whole the parable of Noah's Ark. You know what I mean? The animals they brought with them.
Damn, bro. That's a deep. Okay, cool. All right.
After like Atlantis and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just showing that too. Not only that his name is God Body, that was just a shout out for all my, hip hop type niggas with the God Body thing. But because it's so I knew a family name. So you later see like that all that more calling themselves Jean. That's when the Y and the J have developed onto the Anu. The genes for me. So this is back to the fire tribe. That's what they say is before Adam. Well, from the sun.
Fire tribe come. Well, I know some of their predecessors or ancestors come out of the city of Earth. The fire tribe. And it takes you back to Zoroastrianism and all that shit. Which was
well, I had a clip. I know he didn't send a thing where I was breaking down in my song where I say we descendants of the dinosaurs and lizards made through the storms and blizzards, surrounded by all my killers. They locked us all in these prisons. We illuminated all of the killers, initiated inside the buildings. We Rastafarian niggas. So that little 4 bars right there was basically explaining everything we're talking about. Where I'm saying, descendants of the dinosaurs and lizards, going back to the reptilians. You feel what I'm saying? Made it through the storms and blizzards, saying that these are people who made it through the earth so many times. They're coming from the west. They're coming from the east. They're coming from when the earth was shaped different. You know what I mean? They're coming from natural rivers and lakes like the Iberia and the Mississippi. These are the Aboriginal before even the so-called Indian. You know, I wouldn't even say Aboriginal. These are the original. You know what I mean? And then when I'm saying killers, I literally mean that, because from my understanding, everything I studied American history, what my grandfather gave to me, when he spread his blue light on me, was saying we were Gullah Geechee. The Gullah Geechees were killing the whole entire 400 years. You feel what I'm saying? They never submitted. So the whole way that they talk and carried themselves was considered, you know, Gullah, gangster. You feel what I'm saying? That's what the G and the whole way they talk, and you know, you see it with the New Orleans style. And you see it more in areas that weren't as conquered or as exposed. They have Masonic roots in them. They even have Catholic roots. A lot of brothers don't want to believe because they want to go the white man and Jesus. But when you get into this Gullah culture, you see this in there. And a lot of us will say, well, it's because we were African slaves and we just brought stuff with us. But nah, before African slavery, there were French. There was a French empire here from Canada all the way down to Haiti, which is the original names dealing with the Canaanites, Canada. You know what I mean? Haiti. Then you have the Spanish that were here. Spanish people were obviously Moors, whether they converted to Catholicism or not. You feel me? So you had plenty of original people here from this tribe with these names, you know what I mean, with these holy names on them, especially in the west of the Mississippi, you know. And you see it in the gangs west of the Mississippi. That's why I say where it ties in with my name. So you see it in certain things.
So let me pose this question to you now. I think Common had said something in one of his lyrics. He said, niggas like the gang bang because they're tribal.
Mm-hmm.
What say ye about that? Do you think most gang affiliation and cliques and crews, or is it just tribal affiliation running through the streets?
Yeah, but it's not. But I don't say it to glorify it, because I think some dudes want to glorify it. Say, yeah, it's tribal. It's in my roots, man. What I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to kill another nigga. No, what it is you're asleep. So you're so asleep, you're gonna do what I tell you to do. Gangbanging is nothing where a person is like some free thinker. You're following, but you're so asleep. Your only innate thing to do is what's natural to you. This is where the paisley print appeals to you. I don't know why that shit just look good to me, cuz. You don't know what's inside you. You feel what I'm saying? This is why certain words like, I don't know why I just love saying nigga. You feel what I'm saying? You don't know you come from a tribe that's been the Nagas for thousands and thousands of years. So you just only are left with what's left of you. Cornrows, which are French braids. You feel what I'm saying? The Crip stick is really the Egyptian medicine stick. You feel what I'm saying? The tribal dance. This is not to glorify. These are not good things, because in the midst of doing that, they're drinking, smoking, killing each other. I'm saying it shows that it's honestly belongs to us, because there's nothing left. When there's nothing left, that's all you have left is your natural self. And these are things we naturally do. The whole hustling thing comes from the mathematics within us. You feel what I'm saying? You put a dude who failed math in school 10 times, but you know what to do with these numbers. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, with the paisley print again, I go back to that over and over, because I think that's the one that just shocked me the most. You know, even how I know in the gang culture, right? I'll notice when I'm out and about in the streets, I gotta watch myself. I gotta watch stuff. In gang culture, I'll leave something sitting right there, and you better not touch it. It's like Islam. Like, if you touch it, I'm gonna chop your hand. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole different mind frame.
Wow.
The whole socialism, but that's what it's supposed to be. We know that when you look at, that's why I say supreme mathematics. When you look at the math of it, since the 80s, it hasn't been that. Since they turned it into drugs and pimping and all that.
Right.
Well, you know that there's a lot of masonry inside of gang culture, right?
Well, yeah, from my understanding, the first black gangs, which is Chicago, they were completely modeling themselves off trying to be like a brotherhood and all that. You know what I mean? With the whole codes and the handshakes and the symbolism. I think Mickey Cogwell with the Egyptian cobra stones was like the first one, right? Or some of the earliest ones.
Well, if we're gonna speak truth to power, all those organizations are modeled after secret societies and Freemasonry, including the Moorish Science Temple and so on and so forth. They're all modeled after that. Because I can take you, and I'll show it in a second, but I don't know, Keystone or one of the gangs of Chicago, hell, they had the top hat, the white gloves, and everything that the Masonic order had. They had everything.
Oh yeah, the Vice Lords.
Vice Lords, yeah. So they had everything that the Masonic Lodge had in their affiliation. And my personal opinion, speaking from the Masonic side of the house, when I came into the Moorish Science Temple, I seen a lot of symbolism that was happening. Like, this is the same thing that we do in the lodge. You're doing the same thing here. And then having now the knowledge of looking at gang activity or gang cultures, like, we're really doing the same shit. Like, we're really all doing the same shit. We're just doing it in a different fashion. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents on that.
I'll say this. It's degrees, right? So I'll say gang culture is the 0 degree. You feel me? They're doing the same thing, but there's no degree.
No knowledge. No knowledge to it.
There's no knowledge at all. This is just naturally what they come up with. Like,
they got passwords and handshakes.
No. See, this is where I'm glad y'all got me on the show. That's the East Coast gangs. West Coast gangs are completely blind. They have none of that.
Wow.
They say that sound crazy to them.
Well, I mean, like, do not the West Coast gangs come out of the bosom of the Black Panther Party?
No. So I remember I did the first one I did with Crumb. He kept trying to go with that narrative. And I told him where that comes from. There's a guy named Bunchy Carter who was a member of the Slauson Boys. Those are the original gangs in LA. But the thing is, when you're dealing with Crip and Blood, you're talking about super gangs where they take a bunch of gangs, put them all together and say, let's go kill all these niggas. You're talking about like a large civil war. They didn't have nothing to do with that. That came from a hidden history that's not talked about. That came from, it is a Moorish and a Masonic history. After Jeff Fort got out of prison, he became Chief Malik and turned the Black Peace Stones into the El Rukins and got in cahoots with Muammar Gaddafi. This made him the first dude locked up in America for terrorism. In the midst of doing that, he sent a man named T. Rogers, who's rest in peace now, so I can speak on it. T. Rogers to LA with his brothers, and they started Black Peace Stones out here before it was some Crips. So they were already teaching dudes in LA to do handshakes and wear red, and they were already saying blood and getting money and paying tithes back to Chicago. He had took the whole science from the Moorish Science Temple and applied it to his homies. He was across the country with it. He was getting money from the government and everything. So a lot of dudes don't talk about this because it's the conspiracy to hide everything with us. They start with Crip here. They even say Bloods was second. But all those gangs was here already that they called Bloods. They was already wearing red saying blood. And they even throw this up, brother. They even give handshakes to each other with that. So they had a presence in LA before Crip. So Crip was actually a bunch of hoods coming together. And the Crip and Blood thing is a civil war in LA. I say all that to say, no, they didn't have the Black Panthers hated the Crips and Bloods. They actually used to like try to kill them when they used to come in prison. They used to make them convert to black BGF. And that's how we got paperwork in prison. Still to this day, the Bloods and Crips in prison, in California prison, have to honor the rules left by the BGF. That's why we're not in there killing each other all day. That's why we're in there with the Mexicans and all that. Under gang, regular street, California gang culture, wouldn't none of that be able to exist because we just have no degree. It's all ignorance. Those are the structure left behind by the BGF in their agreement once the Crips started overflooding the prisons. Prior to that, they were actually warring with them.
So what I'm seeing now is a lot of Moors in the Moorish Science Temple are coming out of prison with this information. Then we take a look back over the pantheon of organizations such as the Nation of Islam that was birthed out of prison. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You take a look.
You say it was birthed out of prison?
Yeah. That's what.
So what about Wallace Fard Muhammad then?
You want me to give you the history of Wali Fard Muhammad?
Oh no, let's go.
Let me give you the history of Wali Fard Muhammad. That nigga was in jail before he even got right. He was in California beating up store clerks and everything. That man was a.
You talking about that's Wallace Dodd Fard? Okay,
I'm gonna show you the similarity in both of them. But the point of the matter is, what's his name? Honorable Elijah Muhammad got the science in prison. He got the science. He didn't get the science out on the street. You see, like everybody gets this science in prison.
Well, no, he met Wallace Farr Muhammad in Detroit in 1930 in Hamtramck.
What brought him to Detroit?
Who? Wallace Farr?
Yeah.
Hamtramck is like 90% Muslim. Hamtramck is the highest population of Muslims in America, in North America, period. There's nothing but Arabs there. Like your woman has to walk around covered up and everything.
So who did Farr Muhammad learn this stuff from?
He's from the Middle East. Well, he's actually from Pakistan, my belief, but he claims to be, but his family descent is they're Arab.
Okay. And I was asking for.
No, look, because in Detroit, right? Detroit is like half Arab, basically. Like Detroit is damn near all Arabs.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna say damn near all Arabs, but Detroit has a very high population of Arabs. Very high.
Yeah,
extremely high.
Well, they got their own cities out here. That's how that goes. So
yeah,
Detroit,
see,
Detroit
cities, like they have several.
Who's that right there?
Yeah, below 8 Mile is still us. You know what I'm saying? But when you get outside of 8 Mile, there's definitely strong. Like there's cities where it's just that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out here in Detroit for a minute. So yeah. That's definitely super real.
I mean, I know you're talking about. I think they said it was Temple number 10 or something. Like,
Boom.
like
wait,
like
somebody in the chat room threw Dearborn in. Dearborn is you might as well. In fact, Dearborn's so Arabic. I think that Saddam Hussein and them used to come back and forth here all the time to go to Dearborn.
Yeah, like Muslims visit Detroit. That's very big in the Arabic world. So while it's far, from my understanding, right? Because I call mine the Black Illuminati. Like we go into all of that. So from my understanding, what we dug up was that Wallace Farr that came out here prior to 1930 and already visited, like with the Moors and all that, was building with them. Like it's not like I've heard Elijah Poole Bey. I've heard Wallace Farr, Wali Farad Muhammad Abdullah Ali. I've heard those names. But I'm telling you this though, I've been to Detroit, I've been to those temples, and there's nothing, I've seen nothing of this. All I ever seen is a picture in my enlightener's house. I've never seen no Moore's house. In my enlightener's house, Damni Allah, a picture of Elijah Muhammad and a bunch of the Nation of Islam earlier on with a bunch of Fez hats on with Wallace Farr. That's the only picture I've seen that backs this. But I've heard people talk about it, but I had a Moor myself that I asked. I begged this Moor. I said, man, Wallace Farr came from Moor scientifically. He said, look what the Moor said. He's a sheik. He's a sheik. He said he never seen an ID card of him. He said he never seen an ID card.
Man, come on, man.
Of a Wallace Farr.
Nobody had ID cards in the early 1900s. Nobody had ID cards. It didn't come to the 1930s. So that's fraudulent. What I'm talking about is this was the first brother in America from Egypt with a fez on.
Yeah, where's Bond? Do say Muhammad.
Yeah, he's the first brother over here teaching Islam.
He taught Marcus Garvey.
He taught Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah. He's the reason Noble Drew Ali calls Marcus Garvey the Elijah, the preset. Yeah. Do say Muhammad. This was all his plan. He's who we're talking about when I say the Black Illuminati. He's the secret. Like, he's the one behind it all.
What about his brother? Have you heard his brother right here? I'm going to find him right quick. There's another brother came over here before this Muhammad came over here.
I ain't up on that.
And he was telling everybody that there are no black Shriners in America. And he was the only brother teaching.
I heard no. Oh, damn. I read about him in prison. His name is something Solomon, right?
Right here. I got him. The origin of the Moorish Science Temple. Now, Moors don't like to hear this. They don't like to hear this stuff. And it's okay with me because it's a lot of the reasons why they stop fucking with me too. And I don't care because
it never ends.
Because the truth should never fade or go anywhere. But this brother here was the first one. You know what I'm saying? This brother came and set the record straight. If you guys want this link, hit me up. I see this link right here. Dr. Abdullah Hamid of Egypt.
Yeah.
He came to Harlem and had the first grand meeting. He He was a 96-degree Mason. And he had Deuce Muhammad Ali there at the meeting. So Deuce Muhammad Ali was one of his students, and he brought Islam to North America in its pure prestige form in 1896, before Nubudra Ali was even on the scene. Now he brought this information to New York, and then you see it in Newark, the ones in Newark, New Jersey, which was part of the Ben Ishmael tribe. You heard of them? The Ben Ishmael tribe. The Ben Ishmael tribe in that temple, which was called the Moorish Temple of Science.
If I'm not mistaken, just for the listeners, because that's a very big tribe. Those are the ones responsible for those 3 cities in the Midwest, right?
Now I'm about to go back to Indiana. I'm about to go back to Detroit and Chicago. How they got their origin? Why they call Chicago Mecca? They call Chicago Mecca because of the Ben Ishmael tribe in the early 1800s. You see what I'm saying? That's how everybody from Africa who were dealing with Islam, they started flocking to places like Detroit and Indianapolis because of the Ben Ishmael tribe. That was the reason, because Islam been over here.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm not one of those dudes who's like a student, like, oh, praise to Wallace Farr. There was no Islam before him. I'm very fully aware. That's why I say the Black Illuminati, that it was here before. But just in my teachings and me being in the streets where I got it from, I just show and prove to people that this is where it became available when you see the hip hop and all that. You know what I mean? But as far as with the temple, when I went to the more science temple,
here's what I add on. Not to cut your wisdom, but here's what I add on. I just try to, my thing to establish to the people, and it's good that we have the trio of us because we have different backgrounds. But my thing is just to establish, listen, what we think of today as Black culture is not Black culture. We always been the builders of society. This always been our culture, no matter how far we go back. And we're looking at some of the older Black groups that have established power based on understanding masonry. And I think a lot of the problem is that people don't understand it. Like, we could just go to the nature of how states and cities are set up. Every state is a lodge because every state has to start off with a charter. Well, you know what? That's, you know what, but I'm just saying that this is our culture. You know what I'm saying? This is our shit.
No, yeah, word is bond. It's different parts of it. It's different pieces of it. I just think with that piece of it, it gets like, because of, what's been done with it, what happened. But, that's the messenger. You can't shoot the message. Now, I'm saying, huh?
No, I'm with you.
I'm saying as far as, I felt the same way, because me being a 5%er, and, I'm pretty sure Inky can know because he's from the city. It's like they real big on, oh, yeah, we ain't, F Far Muhammad and now that white guy. You know what I mean? They real. And what I learned was when I went to Detroit, because the guy wanted me to come out there so bad. I've never seen so many Arabs in my life. I've never hung with so many Arabs. I never learned so much about Africa. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Hamtramck, where they met at. Yeah. And they're very big into changing their names and scamming and all this stuff you read about in their story. You know what I mean? With Malcolm X, who was Detroit Red at first. You know what I'm saying? Elijah Muhammad and the Wallace Farr, who were out there catching bodies. That's why he got ran out the country. You know what I mean? They were out there catching bodies. You know what I mean? Using that excellent end of their name to, get low. Professor Drew. Now here's the thing with that. Here's something I want to touch on that I think you might undervalue. That's very big to the outsiders, especially people like me. That there's more than 33 degrees. Nigga, we over here thinking at 33, we flew off in Jupiter somewhere. So, because I remember we went over that. So can you explain that? Because you see how the other one said that the brother was a 96 degree and how they're not Shriners and all that. So I think a lot of us, I talk to brothers all the time, and trust me, there's a lot of us that don't understand that at all.
So, okay, so let me ask this question. The story of Timothy Drew, they say he went to where? He went to Egypt. What happened when he went to Egypt?
If I'm not mistaken, he got initiated. He even had to walk under the Sphinx and make his way out.
Right. So what happened was he went into the cryptic dismal chambers. He came from under the left hand of the Sphinx. Any master mason, though, you get raised by what? Come on, Dr. Inky.
Mm-hmm.
You get raised by the lion's
Left
paw.
hand. Yeah, the lion's
The
paw.
left hand, you get pulled up by the lion's paw.
God's
So,
shoe.
so symbolically, he hired Mabith. He went to Egypt. He got raised up by the lion's paw. While he was in Egypt, he didn't meet his brother. He met Deuce Muhammad, and he begged Deuce Muhammad when he came back. Then he became a student of Deuce Muhammad, and Deuce Muhammad was teaching him they call them the adept chambers of Egypt. See right here, the adept chambers of Egypt. That's the 43rd degree.
Those are the adept chambers they talk about in the Moorish Science Temple.
Those are the 43rd degree. Now,
okay.
I'm gonna show you what that is. Right? That's watch this.
Hold on. But did you hear what he asked you? I don't think they have those degrees in the Moorish Science Temple. That's more.
They
Memphis
do have something called a depth chamber.
Listen. Hear me out now. Because on this call now, us three talking. Ain't but one person, the 90th. Ain't but one person add up with the Moorish Science Temple. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna draw the line for y'all, and y'all know this stuff. Watch this now. Ancient primitive rite. Watch this. Watch the language. Listen to the language of it. Now, this is the ancient primitive rite. Now we're going back where? To Egypt. Now, once you go through these are the adept chambers right here. This is where supposedly Timothy Drew went through the adept chambers in ancient Egypt. And he came out a part of the noble mystic shrine. He became a noble. He received the title of noble. And he also received another title. Watch this. I'm gonna pull up in this article the brother was on right here. He also received another title. What's the title right say?
Prophet.
And this is not noble.
Let me ask you a question. Is prophet a ranking?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna show you where prophet comes from. The word adept I'm gonna show you all these words, which I just pay attention to the connection between. Now, this is the brother Abdullah in New York teaching them about things like the high priest from Arabia, teaching them of the Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. Now, Noble Drew Ali didn't get the title noble from an angel in the sky. It was given to him after you receive a certain degree.
Where's Bond?
Watch this now. Let me show you what degree he received. And from where? Watch this. Serapis Bay. Because I don't play with this shit. I don't care who feelings get hurt. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. Serapis Bay, sometimes called Serapis, in regard to this is a whole order. Look at that symbol. Nothing to do with no. This is all African symbology. Watch this now. The masters of the ancient wisdom and the ascended master teachings is considered to be an ascended master of the Great White Brotherhood. Right. This is out of ancient Egypt. It is thought that Serapis Bey was incarnated. You start hearing people, oh, I'm the reincarnated so-and-so. I'm the incarnated so-and-so, so-and-so. Look what they were in. They were in temples of sacrifice fire on Atlantis who migrated to Egypt. This is where the information that Dr. Suleiman was telling the people in America, like, I got the real keys of nobility. This is the real knowledge of Egypt, destruction of Atlantis. It also was according to ancient Egypt, Pharaoh. This is all what he learned while he was in Egypt. Watch this now. Serapis Bey identified Serapis. Alexa Bailey. Helen Blavatsky. You ever heard of her? She's also one of the students of the ancient ascended master's teachings. But this is the information that he was receiving when he was in ancient Egypt. You have brothers of the white light and brothers of the green light. But tap back in. There you go.
I'm about to say that Crip dropped off.
There you go.
I'm resurrected. Hallelujah. The truth brought me back. The blue light. The resurrected the blue. That was that right there. See, This the cold part. No, I'll tell you, bro. I are 33. We are that number. Oh Lord. So just like these higher degrees, right? Remember, understand that these higher degrees are over. It's all one. It's hard for a person that when he thought the lower degrees were the masters. You feel what I'm saying?
So I got a question for you, MOI.
Go ahead.
Give us. I'm getting ready to get you to. I'm getting ready to throw you the alley oop. You ready? I need you on the fast break now. I need you on the fast break. I need you to.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need you to give us the 16 guys that started the Shriner and talk to me about them Bengal claws.
Oh, the white boys who came over to and heard the
Come
story
on now.
of yeah.
Oh, that started the shrine. So yeah. So this is the thing with the outsiders, right? We're gonna always say, okay, the Shriners in the 1800s and what you find on Google, you know what I mean? But isn't that an imitation of the nobles, right?
Europeans are Shriners. Black people are nobles.
Mm-hmm.
Europeans, let me show you the difference. Show you the difference right quick. Let me walk through the history of it real quick, right? So Europeans are Shriners. You see right here on his face?
Yeah.
You'll see most of them with the saboteur going through it because they're put here to guard the secret. And their tassel is pent down to their head. Now, more because they can't get all 360 degrees. Them white boys got all the degrees. They just know what they can and can't do with their fez or with that tarbouche. It's not even a fez, it's a tarbouche. It's a short cap, not a tall cap. But that scimitar is going through what we look like. They say is a moon and a star, which is the stupidest shit I've heard in my life. That's not a moon and a star. That's the claw of the Bengal tiger out of India. These are Bengal claws. This is not a crescent star. Yeah, they do no crescent star at all. I don't know how the crescent star is associated with anything out of Egypt. But here's what happened with these white boys when they reach a certain degree. They go 32nd to 33rd. If they're part of like say the Grand Lodge out of Richmond, Virginia, their lodge sends them over to Africa to see the tomb of Hiram Abiff, who they call Hiram Abiff, which is the actual shrine. A shrine is something that you put a dead body in. And they're sworn an oath to guard that shrine, to guard that great Masonic secret, which is knowing who we are. We are the real Masons. All of us are Masons. All of us are Masons. If you got olive skin tone, if you have melanin in your skin, you are a Mason. The sisters, y'all are Eastern Stars off the rip. Okay? You ain't got to go petition and join no lodge. That's what they had to do. Because the white boys had to be free and accepted because they were the slaves over here in America. And if they weren't free and accepted, they couldn't join the lodge.
And see, this is where we get to why I say I kept the Crip on the front getting into the West. That's the big secret, is that they weren't free and accepted. It says free and accepted because they had to get free and accepted.
Hey, let me show you
because
something.
the people who owned them in Europe was part of them higher degrees. They was the ones teaching them the little 33 they had.
You see that right there?
Yeah.
That right there is the that's the shrine of the nobles, the tomb of the nobles right there. And look at that ceiling right there. That's the oldest mosaic tile in existence.
Damn.
Now the biblical nobles, I said it before, the biblical nobles are the biblical nobles, those were the three y'all heard about in the Bible who followed the star in the east. There's following the eastern star to come locate and adorn the Ali child, who y'all call Jesus, Yeshua al-Mashiach, Isa al-Madian. They came to guard him because he was the bloodline. He was the progenitor of the bloodline. So it was three nobles who came to King Herod at the time, right? And those three nobles had a band of 160 men each. So they were the original Shriners. They were original nobles. Now these white boys right here, these white boys heard about the story. So these white boys went over there and heard the story, and they came back and set up the shrine. But they're called the ancient Arabic order of the Nova Mystic Shrine. We are the ancient Egyptian order of the Nova Mystic Shrine. They set up the ancient Arabic order because those Arabs told them the story about
makes sense now.
The prophet, wa alayhi salam, the prophet, and told them about Khadijah and what happened with Khadijah and what happened with Ishmael, second son, Kedar, and how Kedar is the direct bloodline of the prophet, which is the tribe of Ishmael. So they hear this story and they came back to America and set up what was going to be a auxiliary of the story they heard over there. And see, this is in 1870. I just showed you that the brother who initiated him, he came here 15 years later declaring that there are no true Shriners in America. Prince Solomon came here and said there are no true Shriners in America. If y'all want to become nobles, come under me. And Timothy Drew came under him and became a noble. He became a
Makes
noble.
perfect sense now. He put the truth here.
Right. And just like I told you earlier, a lot of those gangs and other organizations were mimicking the Masonic lodge and Masonic temples. That's what he did. He mimicked a lot of that stuff. He mimicked a lot of the stuff he saw inside the lodge. I dare anybody come against me and prove me wrong with this shit. Get out your feelings. This is facts. That's why when Moors meet each other, how they meet? They grab their hand, they put the hand on the back, mouth to ear, hand to back, breast to breast.
But I'm talking like you said, we do the Masonic grip.
Come on, man.
The first thing we do is put our foot together and do the Masonic grip.
That's what they do. And if you're a sister, put your foot on the outside because that's what you do when you grip a brother. Mm-hmm. And he came teaching the same thing. And that's why he became a student of it. He became an Egyptian adept student of the chambers. All this I
always looked at it as what Malcolm X said in the autobiography, if he even really said that, because we know Alexander wrote. But I'm saying the part where it says Masonry only offers 33 degrees, Islam offers 360. Now, what? Okay, so where does that tie in? What we're saying? I remember me and you were talking about that. These higher orders. I'm saying we're using the word Mason because the people may not know or not. Those higher orders are not Masonry, right?
Okay, so like I told the brother last time, right? The Moor Science Temple is a degree. It's a school. It's a grade, let's say grade high school. Moor Science Temple is high school. Masonry is like elementary school, right?
Yeah.
Islam and Christianity is 7th, 8th grade. Now going into college, those are just collegiate degrees you can get into because you get to the higher degrees, you deal with the esoteric plane. You don't deal with anything on this earth no more. You have to go up and study things off this planet, right? If you don't know about the constellation of the Draco star system or the Palladian star system, if you don't know anything about the Arian Brotherhood, which comes from the Aries star system, then you're gonna be all over the place, still digging around this BS down here on Earth trying to find some shit. That's why I say never dwell even to the soul plane. The soul plane is the ascended plane, where the ascended masters go to. The ascended ones teach from that plane. And those who are not part of the ascended masters don't understand, they get confused. They don't understand what they're talking about. So you must, like Jesus did, you have to speak in parables.
He said, because you don't understand earthly things, how can I teach you of heavenly things?
Right. Jesus said,
those are the higher degrees.
Right. I'm not from here. I'm from up there. Y'all not going to catch what I'm saying until 5,000 years from now. And Brother Crumb can bear witness. 12, 13, well, not 13 years ago, but 8, 9 years ago, I was teaching about that shit 9 years ago and had people looking at me like I was fucking crazy. Like, what are you talking about? And finally, 5 years later, they caught up to this shit. I was the first person standing in front of everybody in Norfolk, Virginia at the House of Conscience telling them that I got 26,000 years of information. In 2 hours, I'm gonna give you 1,266 years. And it was like, damn. And I was giving them all the ciphers and the keys. I was doing the keys,
exactly,
breaking the Masonic code. I was giving all the shit right there. Like
our parable of that is what he calls Qurans. He's like, I'm only gonna give you this much. There's more history. And to tag on to what you're saying is a funny story. So to show how culture works in geography. I joined Unity Temple 80, and they got like some young thug brother there is telling, oh man, we heard some Mason niggas in here. We gonna get this motherfucker. Mason can't be around us, and Mason this, Mason, because he's just looking whatever he learned in the street, and the devil, and the Illuminati, this, that, and the other. This is why I call it the Black Illuminati. Right now, when I went with one of the members there that was a little more ranked up, he took me to Hollywood. There was a brother with a black fez teaching. There were people in there who were of other nationalities, who were Masons, who were open about it. Yeah, I'm 32nd, I'm 33rd. I came here to get my nationality. I came here, like you said, it was a school. I came here for this or that. It was just funny to me that the temple where I met these brothers at, that was a little, lesser degree, they thought this, like anti-Mason, I'm like, wow, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, they're so disconnected from what's going on.
Now, here's what you ask Moors. Anybody that's, I don't, all them titles and shit, because we know a lot of that respect the station, the titles of men, no way. So ask them about these people right here. Dr. Suleiman Muhammad, Chief Rabbi Wentworth, Rabbi Arnold Joshua Ford. That's who Noble Drew Ali went into the lodge with. They're not gonna tell you about that. And when Rabbi Arnold Joshua Ford went to go resurrect means reestablish the old Canaanite temple in Newark, New Jersey, because it was already there. That's why he went to Newark, New Jersey first to help resurrect the temple. Noble Drew Ali liked the way that Rabbi Ford was integrating masonry into the temple, and then Noble Drew Ali got upset. He left and went to Chicago and started the Moorish Science Temple. If you do the research on the Moorish Science Temple, it was called the Moorish Temple of Science first. It wasn't called the Moorish Science Temple.
Where's Bum?
Where you get the name from? You know what I'm saying? It says right here, Rabbi Ford, back to Ethiopia movement is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali referenced in the Moorish Questionnaire Key 89. And also Moorish Divine Constitution, Bylaw 6, in the Moorish Holy Quran, Circle 7, Chapter 47, 1 through 4. Rabbi Ford is also quoted in the Moorish literature pamphlet and speaks about the industrial acts of a Muslim. It says to him, David Ford L. or other evidence suggesting that Drew Ali was influenced by Moorish Hebrews out of Newark, New Jersey. Was important he gave DeMarcus Garvey a feature notable amongst Ford group in introducing the word El and Bey, suffix to the Moorish surname, which constitutes Hebrew and Islamic roots. Okay, so Bey, the word Bey and Bey and El was in play thousands of years before this shit even happened.
Yeah,
right? Got nothing to do with no Moorish, nothing, no Moorish empire, whatever they try to make it seem out to be, right? Now I'm about to go in on it. Okay, when they're talking about this vast estate, okay, Quitman Drew and Eliza Turner, the mother and daddy of Timothy Drew, out of Elizabeth, North Carolina. Really, that's Virginia. That's why Timothy Drew was working in Newport News shipyards, because he's from Virginia. Okay, the whole area from North Carolina border right there, Nag's Head, all the way to Suffolk right there. The Turner family owned all that land. The last Indian chief who had the last stronghold, what was his name? Nat Turner.
Nat Turner.
But
see, hold on. But no, look, you gotta slow down.
No,
that's your students is that far. There's a lot of niggas don't even know Nat Turner was.
No. Wait a minute. Wait.
No,
See, look. Let me take it back. Wait, gentlemen. Let me add on here, because I think we got to take it back, because this is where I was getting ready to go, and you just threw me alley-oop. Now I didn't threw you a nice alley-oop, and you done reverse jammed it, looking like prime Dominique. But now you got Angelo Solomon up there on your Instagram page right there. And so where I was going with the states, in order for a state to form in America, the state has to have a charter. Now, if y'all don't know about that, you have to have a charter in order to open your lodge, right? So this is the same thing the states have. And when you look at Angelo Solomon's a brother, and he actually was responsible for Mozart, and he's the cousin of Queen Charlotte. And so Queen Charlotte is where we get Charlotte, North Carolina. Queen Charlotte is she was the first Black queen of England. And why she's important to the Masonic discussion is because Angelo Solomon was a Grand Master in Germany. And then her son, mind you, this is a black woman now. She mixed. She got her Alicia Keys shit going, but she's still a black woman, right? Her son winds up being the first Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of England. And he's the Prince of Wales. So there's a whole hidden black history woven throughout the infrastructure of masonry that runs even through the Grand Lodge of England, that people like to say, oh, well, if you're a Mason, you know, you got to answer to England, blah, blah, blah. Well, do you know that the first Grand Master of that lodge in England, he was Drake. He was mixed. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, and his mom winds up being, you know, when you get off the airport, this is how you can do it. You if you want to reference, when you get off the airport, if you ever flew to Charlotte, soon as you come out the airport, that woman right there is Queen Charlotte, and she's, you know, and so that's where that and so that's part of the significance to Angelo Solomon, because he did a lot of work from behind the scenes in terms of the war that was going on globally that people misinterpret as slavery. There was a global war going on, and prisoners of war were labeled slaves, and so that's where you get the misunderstanding about 25 million people coming over in boats to, you know, like that's not what it was. It was people being taken prisoner right where they was at. So a lot of the slaves that wound up being slaves in America was kidnapped right from here. They was here already and got, you know, so it's a whole black history that's not really discussed. But that name, Angelo Solomon, is like a key to begin to unlock that stuff.
Well, I can tell you this a lot, because I'm one of them, and a lot of the girls I didn't slept with and all that run around this ghetto. A lot of us, because we're not as educated, low key know the tribes and stuff that we come from that we can start with. Our grandparents tell us, but we go with the media. Like I was saying to the brother, when you brain dead, you just go with whatever's right there to follow, and we go with the whole black thing. For example, my grandfather told me I was Gullah Geechee. I didn't study, and learned about the Gullah. You know what I'm saying? My homegirl, I started studying. Her grandmother been told she was Cherokee, but she didn't want to look that up or see what that's about, or none of that. The truth is, a lot of the quote unquote black people here like that Africa story. It makes it easier. It makes it simpler. It makes it an excuse. It makes it easy to be a victim.
Yeah, but you can unravel that out of African theory with three goddamn questions. And I talk my people already know. Anybody come with that out of African theory, you hit the ass with three questions. When? Make them give you a year. Where they come to? Make them give you a location. And who? Make them tell you who did it. And they can't tell you none of the three fucking questions, because shit didn't even happen at all. Nobody came.
And the cold part is,
from Africa.
From the standpoint of nationality, it doesn't even make sense, because it's like, so you're telling me that a Mexican could come right here, right now, and their baby could be from here, but I can't be from here because you're telling me a story that happened 400 or 500 years ago?
Man,
it doesn't even make no sense in the terms of nationality to begin with. It just makes you already look at yourself weird. Like you're not even looking at yourself as part of something.
Let me redirect the question.
MOI, I'm about to say, I got a question for you. Let me ask you this.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Oh, wow, okay.
That picture, who's standing in the middle?
Oh, yeah, that's all you, champ. Teach.
Oh, y'all want to guess who it is in the middle?
Teach.
Oh, yeah, I want to know that is in the middle.
Back to you, champ.
Who's he in the middle of, though?
It's a good Grand Master. What you talking about?
Oh, man. Oh, that's
yeah,
that's Solomon.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
bro. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Yo, you bringing the house down. You listen.
I don't care.
Crip, let me explain something to you right now. Crip, let me talk to you in your language. See, I'm in the middle because I can speak your language and MOI language. Let me tell you what he's doing right now. What he's doing right now is he's saying, "Hey, fellas, why don't y'all take a ride with me to the corner store? I got to go pick up some grape juice." And then when he gets to the corner store, without letting us know, he go inside and pull out the thing and clear the register and run out, jump into the car and say, "Pull off." Now we super hot. Now look, we super hot. We don't listen. We super hot. We don't even know what the fuck just happened. MOI come and toss the gun in the back seat to us like, "Hey, hold on, hold us down."
I feel like this. I get what you're saying.
All
I've
I'm saying
already
is
accepted-
we gonna
I
deal
already
with it.
accepted
We're gonna deal with
Elijah
it,
and all of
or
them
we're gonna
beings,
let it
you know what I mean?
alone. Hold on. Either we're gonna deal with it or we're gonna let it alone. Now, it ain't no more time to be
No, you
playing
got to deal with
nobody,
it. Deal with it. Listen. I'm with you,
reserving
champ.
nobody feelings now, because now I'm
I'm
showing
following
you. Watch this now. Now I'm showing you who the hell that is, and I'm gonna stand on my square because I can show you where he was buried at. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause it again. This is his funeral. Where's he laid the rest at? What they say right there?
The Pythian temple.
Okay, for those of y'all don't know what the Pythian temple is, because I want to be fair to everybody. Watch this now. Oh, shit, I spelled that wrong. But hold on. Hold on, let me get it right. I want everybody to follow this.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be at least 1,000 Moorish brothers that's going to be looking for us tomorrow morning.
I don't care. They all gang.
No. We good. Listen. I'm good and you good. Wait. I'm good and you good, MOI. I'm just making sure.
Look, this ties into was
Crip
Jesus
might not know that
we
we run. Crip might not know that this is a drive-by right now. So I'm just
no, I know what's going on. You know, I've been in the temple. I've been, you know, I know what's going on. But look.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because every brother is entitled to a Masonic burial. Why they bury somewhere else? Because he was what I just showed you what he was and who he was for real. And if he had the information, then good on him. That's why I say, you know, the prophet remove. Hold on,
can you go back to that picture, MOI, and pull that back up? The building, the building, so people can see it.
What building?
Go back.
That's a PowerPoint. I mean, video.
Go back to what you had up before that, because I thought I might have saw something. Okay, I guess I'm tripping.
The point is, all the prophets were Masons.
No, this is a big fact. Absolutely.
So was Jesus a Naga? The one thing we didn't get to, I went through nigga, I went through Naga, I went through the serpent, I went through everything. I didn't go through the definition which Crumb gave me, which I wasn't aware of neither.
Well, you got it three ways. So you got in the Hebrew.
Tecton becomes nigger. So you got to give us that.
You know, I can walk you through it. Tecton. The Greek word is Tecton. Tekton. And then
that's the Greek word for what though? Because I didn't even know that. I'm saying you got to go all the way back.
I got you. That's the Greek word for nagar, and the nagar is spelled Naggar in Hebrew. And in the sister language, which is Arabic, is spelled Najjar, Najar. And then in the Sumerian, you have the Nagaru, so it's Naggaru. Yep.
And that's a Mason.
Niggas all over.
Now,
and that's what.
Let's read this right quick.
The cold part that they'll
let's
say.
Read this right quick.
That's where you're the missing key is that translates from Tecton. You get what I'm saying?
Let's read this right quick. Acts 13:1. Now in the church at Antioch, there were who? Who were there?
Oh,
prophets,
shit. I'm scared to even read that.
And teachers. Barnabas, Simon, who they call what? Nigger. Nigger. No, this is nigger.
Oh, okay.
This is
I tried to do it nice. I tried to clear it up for him.
It's okay. Because listen, Acts 13:1 is in the New Testament, right?
Yes.
And that means it's what? It's Greek. What does that word mean in Greek?
Yeah, so it's nigger then.
It means black.
No, yes, sir.
Acts 13:1. We ain't gotta play around with this stuff. Get right to the point. They called them niggas back then.
Oh man, I gotta put the phone down for a second for this one. That was too good. Ooh, shit. They call it niggas.
If Acts 13:1 like
secret word, so they've been called.
This is in Greek. Take the Greek word Niger, it translates to black. Who they call black back then, who they called niggas back then. In Acts 13:1. That shit been a thing, man. That's why he said, was Jesus a nigga? I'm like, yeah, that's easy. That's even up for discussion. Of course he is. Of course,
Look,
so many ways he is.
Hit the share screen for him so we can go back again.
There it is.
This shit get crazy. It get crazy. Listen, it get crazy because it's not just this. Let me find this for you. It's
the Matrix
so
don't want to see it. Right, man, y'all gave him enough.
Real quick. Shouts out to everybody still tapped in right now watching, man. Over 137 people, 140 people still watching on this Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all tapped in over here learning instead of watching those gladiators. Brother Crumb back in the building. What's up, Crumb? We have our time to get off.
No, you got as long as you need. There is no time limit tonight.
So listen. Listen. Appreciate y'all on here hanging out with us on the Super Bowl Sunday, man. This is a new CrumbTv network, man. We doing it across all the screens. We going down tonight.
Crazy. I ain't even think about the Super Bowl.
You didn't get. That's what all I've been thinking about. I said, man, we going up against the Super Bowl.
Yeah, games, man.
Yeah, I'm a basketball guy. I don't even know about it. Like that ain't even. Hey, look, we can do it like this though. We can take it to the Dogon too. Pull up, hit the share screen because the Dogon also.
Dr. Inky, did you talk about how Jesus is a Nigger? Did you talk about that?
Yeah, the brothers kind of, you know, the
He's
brothers
going right here. Look, that go right there.
Yeah,
Nigger, goose goddess who laid the sun egg.
Yep, they didn't put it together, and that's where the Dogon get their deity from. The geese, the goose, you know, the egg, and you know, so that's, and she's a nigga. Like, and this is supposed to be Ray's mother. So, you know, going through the pantheon of gods, you know, this is an older god.
So this goes to show you can't even not like what they like. They're teaching us so backwards. Listen,
I got so many of these slides though on this. You know, the people can go ahead and download this. It's on my website, AmericanHealer.website, because also we got this here too now. And then people got to wrestle with this. You know what I mean? Like it's some ancient terminology that's just like interesting.
Wait, hold on. Does that say Mason?
Oh. Man, listen, I'm just saying there's some listen, I'm just saying it's some terminology here that we got to deal with.
Woo shit.
It's some terminology here that we got to deal with, you know. So this here is like 1,000 slides, and I'm giving this away for free, you know, definitely to the CrumbTv family and everybody else. They could just grab this because it's a lot in here on the math.
Oh, put it in the comments. They said F Super Bow. That's what it is.
Super Bow.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Super Bow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fuck Super Bow.
Yeah, we going.
Hey,
that's crazy.
Dr. Inky, did you talk about the Tecton?
Yes, we kind of just hit the Tecton right before you tapped in. So I guess it was your energy that brung it out. You know what I'm saying? Because we just kind of touched on all that before you jumped on. Yeah. Okay. The brothers was going in though, so it's yeah. We getting to it. Yeah, we getting to it. The brothers going in.
Hell yeah.
That's a long ass PowerPoint, man.
Oh my goodness, 1,147 slides. And oh my goodness. And then I start doing stuff, you know, getting into some other different, you know, some nuances. Because that's how the DNA actually replicates. So yeah. It's definitely it's definitely some nuanced, you know, some nuanced information in there.
Could I share a screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You know, the reason I was excited about when he brought up the Tecton thing is because.
Oh, can I say one thing too? We never got to my slide about the Maccabees. I mean King Herod. So this is a great place to tie that in. So when I said the story of Jesus is about the story of King Herod and the murder of the innocents when he was killing all the children of the royal bloodline. No, you just had to slide up about Herod the Great.
Yeah, y'all never went through the whole PowerPoint?
No, we went through it for the most part. We kind of it was a little hazy in there because you had the control of the PowerPoint, but we made our way through. But I'm just saying that slide you just had about Herod the Great had brought that up to me. The last slide was supposed to be the story of Jesus, the very last one.
So now when you get into the Jesus in the holy bloodline, you're talking about the Sang Real, the Sang Real.
Say it again.
The Sang Real.
Sun Real.
Oh, never mind. That's the holy blood. Never mind. Yeah. No, that was
all right. One before this. That's the last one. Is one before this, and I go, okay, bam. So going all the way back with the story of the people that describing as serpents and all these prophets as MOI exposed, when we see them in the flesh dressed up, they're Masons. Depending on their ranking, they may have tricked you and fooled you even better. They may have actually been shape-shifting on your ass. So the story of Jesus is about King Herod's massacre of the innocents. When I say people to get out of the whole, what's his name? What's the thing? It's the point is King Herod was over there murdering a bunch of women named Mary's sons. This is a fact. 25% of their tribe was named Miriam, I believe. It was a popular name amongst them. His own wife that he married was Queen Miriam, who he was murdering his own sons to prevent them from ruling as much more land than him. This is fact. So even if you want to relate the story to his own sons, it's like if they made a movie called Tyrone about a hood gangbanger, crack-selling prisoner in America. It's not a fake movie. It's a character that represents what's going on here. So the story of Jesus is about King Herod's massacre of the innocents and his subjects' Egyptian roots, going to what you talk about with the Tecton and all that, and what he's talking about with the Greek. Because at this point in time, they are speaking Greek. The word Tecton is being used. The word nigger, like y'all saying. So it's not even Naga or Naja at this time. It's actually nigger at this point.
Yeah.
And Tecton. That's why those. I'm saying that's why those words were used. It was at this point in time. This is a real story.
Yeah. So in the PowerPoint, I had going off the Herod thing. Who was the king of Judea when Jesus was born? Herod the Great. This is according to encyclopedia.com. He later became cruel and tyrannical, executing 3 of his sons and his wife. According to the New Testament, Herod was king of Judea when Jesus was born. Now, Jesus is really the king of Judea. That's why he wanted to kill him in the first place. It was a conflict of interest. But if you look at, Jesus was a king and not just a carpenter. And the New Testament does not say that he was. It says that he was a Tecton, which means architect. And you see here, a Tecton is an artisan or a craftsman. It can be a carpenter or woodworker or builder, stone worker or mason at the very end. And it has I think that's Greek. Yeah. You can hear the Anglicism in the word.
Iron worker too. Metalsmith. Yep.
Correct. Yes. That's all why it's right in his act.
Yeah.
But why they leave the mason part out, I'm not sure. But no, he wasn't a literal mason. He was a speculative mason. When when the whole ritual of Lazarus, that was taking him from a dead state and raising him. So when you look at these stories from the biblical text, this is Masonic ritual right before your very eyes.
Absolutely. He died in the 9th hour, and then he had to be in darkness for 72 hours, which is symbolic of the perfect black Osiris, which is the oldest. Well, anyway, go ahead. Yeah, you going though.
Factory. But yeah, I just wanted to add that because when I was working with Inky on a previous video, he had broke down the word behind Tecton that I didn't know, which was Jesus was a N-word. But yeah, that's, I yield the floor.
It's an N-word.
Man, I'm just let y'all know this is deeper than I thought. I never heard nigger made for Mason. Nigger being Mason just fucked it all up for me. Like I'm ready to go holler at my grandparents and all of them. Be like, y'all don't know how wrong y'all
start finding them words in the metal nature. Like I'm like, what is these words doing way back here? Mason and nigger, and I'm like, this is crazy.
What
that was in the metal nether?
That was what I showed is all that's the presentation I sent you on your email. Everybody, not everybody, but I sent y'all 3 it, and then the people, I guess I can't send it to everybody watching. Y'all got to go to the website, AmericanHealer.website, and grab it. But those is all from the metal nature. That word Mason, meaning builder and metal worker and brickman, all that's metal nature. The niggers, the Nagas, all that is in the metal nature. You know what I'm saying? So we have. And it goes back to the Sumerian and some of the older cultures. It's just having a record that shows that before the negative energy and the negative intentions and the anger and the hate and all of that was added into the word nigger to refer to us, that was already a term of endearment. It meant royalty, gods, kings. You know what I'm saying? We had a global society of builders, and that's just who we was. You know what I'm saying? So when I see the brothers, the Israelites beefing with the Muslims, beefing with the Kemetic, I'm like, we don't need, that's what y'all doing is the result of not knowing that we all had this global society that we don't have to beef with each other. We family. The Ishmaelites related to the Israelites. It's one family. It's in Mitzrayim, like all that's, that's all family. If you look, tap in.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I could, I did a video called N-word Decoded, and I had brought up the metal nature as well because of its association with fatness and vegetation and so forth. The individual glyph became used as the word goose, represented as a black goose, as you can see in my depiction here right on the right side. Black represented the fertile soil and also the people of the land, neggers. It's also a term for the king initiate, which keeps its connection to Naga, the serpent king / queen. And you can see Nagaga, Nega, Neger, which is the goose goddess who laid the sun egg, or the goose that laid the golden egg. We know about that. But, the minister and I were talking a long time ago, and, we had to go into Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nager means golden one in ancient Egypt, which is also Kemet Nager. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, remember, when you're dealing with a Nager or black, it's swarthy. Arnold Swarthy Nager.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody in the comments talk black to me.
Hey, wait! I look at this one. Now look at this one. A lot of people might be blown away when they find out what the word "amen" that they say in church. The word "amen" that they say in church. Check this out.
Stop it!
Yeah. That right there. Yeah. Bang.
Okay, now hold on. Okay, let me add my 2 cents to it.
Oh, the minister.
Let me add my 2 cents. No, go back to that PowerPoint.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, go with that PowerPoint.
All right, let me get it back open. Bang. I already know he about to drop a nuclear warhead.
No, I'm just gonna add value to it. What you saying? Now I think Crumb was the one that pointed out to me that there's like is it a man, a moon, a mon, and then what on means and all that kind of stuff means, dealing with what's his name, the dude who ascended and he became Metatron, all that kind of stuff. Now in Revelation it talks about a man being at the creation of God. You ever read that? You ever read that before?
You dropping it.
I actually didn't catch that. Say that again, please. My apologies.
That our man was there at the. Watch this. Here, I'm gonna show you on my screen right quick. Watch this. Let me go to present. Share screen. Watch this. And if y'all could please read that for me. Oh, I'm gonna put it right here. He who has an ear, let him hear that the Spirit says to the church. The angel of the church of Laodicea writes, these are the words of who?
Amen.
Of the who? The faithful and true witness, the original of who?
God's
creation. Woo!
The reason you know, and look, and the reason you know it's a person because it says the. It's a definite article. The Amen, not a man. No, the Amen. The original God you just showed was there at the creation of God's creation. He witnessed God creating. This is what it says right here.
So now we could just translate the amen to the nigga. These are the words of the nigga, the faithful and true witness, the originator of God's creation.
So hold on.
Words bond to my mind. My first mixtape, I was gonna call it slime because I had the serpent. I called it Amen.
Listen, who is the original man?
That's the first degree.
The Asiatic black man, the owner,
the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the creator of the planet Earth, the God of the universe, father of civilization, part of self.
This scripture bears witness to what you just said.
Wow.
That's exactly what that says. Yes.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I just want to add value to that's all. I want to add value to that part.
That's crazy.
So Jesus was definitely a Naga.
Man.
Yeah. Jesus was definitely a Naga. And I wanted to kind of just take it a little bit deeper. Just getting into this whole Naga thing. If you look at the Asian, when you look at the Asian culture, you're going to see one of the most popular Asian names is Nguyen. I'm sure. Matter of fact, here. I'm sorry. Let me skip that and go here. I'm going to share screen.
Nguyen.
Wait, pull up the screen. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Well, really quickly, this says Abenaki means father serpent, a name of an indigenous Moorish nation in America. This is according to Brattleboro Historical Society as of April 17th, 2018. Just follow me for a quick second, dealing with these Nagas. In 1828, the Brattleboro Publishing Company of Holbrook and something produced a history of Vermont. From its first settlement to the present time, it was one of the first books published in town that wrote about the Abenaki.
Wow.
When writing about the native inhabitants, the author, Francis Eastman, wrote, not a vestige of them, I think that's vestige, of them now remains. Gradually, the encroachments of whites have pushed them farther and farther on to the west and north of the United States and Canada. In many early histories of Vermont, Native Americans were hardly mentioned. I'm sorry.
I'm listening.
In many early histories of Vermont, Native Americans were hardly mentioned. A Vermont school book used from 1890 to 1925 starts this way. Very few Indians lived in Vermont when white men first came here, though hunting parties and war parties often passed through, and sometimes a party would camp all summer in a good place. Now you can see the early history books did not give Native Americans such claim to Vermont. If you go look it up, these serpent people who are indigenous to the land were called Abenaki, because Naki is also for the word nigga. But
yeah, Naki is nigga before Greek, because Greek is where the G comes in. It's all mathematics. God. All you gotta do is look at the time periods. That's all I'm saying. See, MOI got so much of the knowledge, and it's like, well, he'll hit me with, I can only like braze it through the time period. That's what the nation gave at the time period. So I can see the Naga goes to the nigga, then the Najar, then the Naka. You feel what I'm saying? The Hebrew. You feel me? And then even in the Ka, when you see Ka and so many words coming from East Africa and the Middle East with the Afro-Asiatic languages, Semitic languages, I should say.
My apologies for bouncing around. Yeah, that's all Wise right, exact. My apologies for bouncing around, but when I brought up the Nguyen thing, that was a reference to Vietnam. If you look at tiara.government of I don't know what NZ stands for, one of them Asian countries. The word Naga Atua, meaning the gods, because remember, the Nagas are the gods, the black gods, so-called. The Tiara Encyclopedia, New Zealand, that's what it is. Keep me honest, excuse me. As of May 5th, 2011, at the center of the Maori religion were the Atua, or the gods. So when you look at the word Naga, even over there, it says that. So I want you to focus also on gods and demons on fandom. The Hang Naga is a god and a demon. This is from the Vietnamese ideology. So when you look at Amazon.com, 100 seeds of Buwag in NGU. This is the same way you're going to see the word Nguyen. NGU Naga, the snake serpent gourd. Also from thoughtco.com.
But can you go back? I want to show you something too on that last one.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, you almost back to Khmer, and we done circled all 7 continents. We didn't hit the circle 7 on them just now. We all the way
right
back
here,
around the globe.
you see right here, the Nagas have a goddess of the moon. The same thing you find with the tribe of Sabah, which is Yemen, where they got Islam from, with they had a goddess of the moon. You feel what I'm saying? A lot.
Right. Ooh, teach Muhammad.
Her name was Ishtar.
But you're going to see that NGU, which is a variant of Naga. Nguyen stems from the Chinese word Raun, a string instrument that is plucked. In Vietnam, the family name Nguyen is connected to royal dynasties. When you're dealing with the Naga, when you're dealing with the Negus, you're dealing with royalty. You're spanning all the continents. Nguyen is the most common Vietnamese surname. These Nagas, these royal Anunnaki, look at their shield and crest. That's very reptilian of you, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam.
Now, from what Wallace, look, now this is not even in the 120, but this is what part of Wallace as far as higher teachings, because it is part of it with the math, that the Earth was originally 35,000 miles in circumference, and those people are called moon people. They're descendants from the land that was here when the moon and Earth was one. That would be like the Middle East, where all the sand is, after a mighty blast that separated. So our moon would also mean like the moon. And the Queen of Sheba always having this moon symbol would also be like real, like descent from these people who were here already when the world was. That's where we get the frame Asiatic, was one body called Asia.
I'm waiting for y'all to come on around to Sambo. And then we've been dealing with Nagas for 2 hours. Anybody knows Sambo, which are the real black deities of Asia?
Which is the main, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, these are the real black deities over there in Asia. Sambo Judea is where they come from. You just mentioned Vietnam. Do y'all know when the black troops first got to Vietnam, the Vietnamese would not shoot our troops? They told them, go home and not you walk, because they saw us as Sambo Judea. They saw us as those original deities. They grew up seeing us. Now we're talking about Naga, which is really just serpent or seraphim or worm or zil, right? And you always see the Godzilla in Asia because they know that we already depicted as powerful beings and creatures. We keep talking about Naga, but we all think we're talking about as serpents. All thing we were talking about is these worms or these dragons.
Mm-hmm.
The real draconians. I don't know.
But we're just showing the pattern here for those that are asleep. You know, but like you said with Sambo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get characters like him in the names, you see that in a lot of religions where a name, let's say somebody made a name popular and there's a whole story of his whole tribe. They may take that one name and make the story of that whole tribe and dynasty that one person's story, right? So that's how I see with Moses. You feel me? Because you see Moses, Thutmoses, Ramoses. You see all these different Moses throughout Egypt that wore the serpent, that fit this same description. You know what I mean? And just to show people, for those who have been drowned in the lake of the white lies, just to bring them a little bright light. To say, hey, that name ties this. You know what I mean? I think for the gangbanger, when he sees the paisley print means the Hindu, it makes him look at the Hindu a little more, you know? So I just say for the Naga and the serpent is because we already say Naga so much. It's just amazing to us. And we see the serpent is so evil for so long. It's just a wide awakening for the sleep.
For sure. And everything that I'm showing right now are like the actual ancient statues out of Asia. And we have to understand the whole continent is Asia. The whole continent is Asia. All of it. All the way to so-called Europe, that's Asia too. Russia, that's Asia. Persia, that's Asia. India, that's Asia. That's all Asia. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna hit them. Give it to them. Don't worry about who can. See,
that's why we say Asiatic.
We gotta talk to those who woke. Those who ain't woke, we can't worry about them. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, "You ain't gonna save but a handful. You have fingers left over. So don't worry about those. Teach this shit outright. Because it's like a couple of times, like, I gotta worry about everybody who's not woke yet. Forget them, bro. They're not woke. At this point in calm, no. Because I've been very calm the whole time. If you ain't woke, don't come to my classroom.
Facts. Bars.
I teach advanced.
If somebody sitting in the back, they gotta hear it too. I'm here for this.
Advanced math. You want to go to the 101s and all that stuff right there, you got to go to the classroom. But anytime you come in this classroom, it's gonna be straight heat. That's why I tell y'all to write this stuff down. Take notes and write it down. Take notes. Write this stuff down and go study it for yourself. Because the whole 2 hours the brother been talking about stuff, he was just listening. They ain't took no notes or nothing. You come back on tomorrow and do a pop quiz, everybody fail.
Bro, listen. That's why
they gonna remember some of this.
That's why I be trying to give them the presentation.
This was heat rocks right here.
I put the link inside the description for anybody that want to grab the PowerPoint. It's 1,000 slides. Yep. Go just click the description right under this video. It's just there.
Give it to them. And we're giving it to y'all. Raw. These are the Nagas of Asia. Everything they showing you, these are real statues. This is real stuff right here. We got to make believe, cartoon, none of that stuff. This is real stuff right here. Mm-hmm. With the Bantu knots in their head right there. Yeah. Out of the continent of Africa.
Fat lips.
That's where the people of India and Asia got their religion from in the first place. They didn't come up with this stuff. They come up with nothing. The Cambodians, they come up with that stuff. They came out of Africa. All this stuff. Look at the hairstyle. You can't get Asians to rock their hair like that. They can't, because Asians and so-called Indians of North America, they have hollow hair. They can't do this to their hair. That's why the hair was so important.
Ooh, I don't know if anybody caught that.
Oh no, I caught it. That's what I was saying about the 35,000. Like, look at this.
Look at the hair. Every statue they show you, look at the hair, look at the nose, look at the lips. Because this whole 2 hours, we're talking about Asia, we're talking about, and in our mind, we imagine some Chinese-looking people, some Mongoloid-looking people, and that's not what we're talking about. We ain't talking about none of that stuff. We're talking about the real Asiatics.
That's right. And add on to the bill. When you, I think you said it was 35,000 years back, the Buddha goes, if you go back, the Buddha was studying these folks, which is the reason why every time you see the
Yes.
Buddha, this is how the Buddha looked.
Yes.
This was
Yes.
that's
Exactly.
the culture the Buddha got it from.
Well, okay, well, you
Enlightenment.
know what? But that's my bad, y'all, because y'all had came in a little later. So I started the episode with Crumb, and that's exactly what I was talking about. We were showing the statues of the Nagas, showing that in early Asia, look at all these men who were blue, the blue-black, you feel what I'm saying, and who were the what we call in the nation, where they start with the first degrees with the 35,000 going back with Buddha. These are the Buddhas. They tell us, you know what I'm saying? These are the people who Asia got their religion from. These are the Nagas. That's the first. That's within the student enrollment we learned that. So that's why I started off with. So this goes back to what you're saying with Sambo and even Django. You know what I mean?
Factory.
They went from the west to the east.
I wanted to throw this in there because we're talking about the Indian culture with the whole Hindu thing. I wanted to ask the family, is it safe to say that the Indian culture has been heavily influenced by Ethiopia?
Well, no, it goes back. Remember the first slide? That's why I said before MOI and them got here, the first slide was said that the gods of Hinduism were a race of people called the Nagas, and they had a picture of the blue dude sitting there with the blunt, and the two girls, and the brother with the Baphomet head next to him. Remember that was right before y'all came in. Remember I was saying that MOI. I was like, man, slide just left. Remember?
Which slide was that?
Keep going. Keep going.
Not this one.
Where'd it go? No. There it go.
The gods of Hinduism were a race of gods called Nagas.
So you see he has the 7 serpents around him. He has the 2 women. He has the protector on the one side that's kind of cropped out. He has the blood in his hand. He's original man. Like he said, the original, the ones who taught the Asiatics.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why the number 7 is so prominent, because it features in a lot of our spiritual systems where you have like the 7 Nagas. You got the circle 7, which is, you have 1 mouth, 2 holes in the nose, 2 eyes, 2 ears. You got the 7 liberal arts, and you take it to a science level. A lot of people don't know that the speed of light is circle 7. That's what the circle 7 symbolizes in science, the speed of light. And so when you think about the circle 7 in terms of knowledge refers to light. But the way that the speed of light is calculated in terms of the circle 7 is because a photon literally travels around the globe 7 times per second. So even in the science motif, that's where you have light traveling around the earth 7 times in a second. The circle 7 is to enlighten the mind. And that's why you have the 7 holes in your, so it's all there. It's all there. It all taps.
No, let's go what you said, the 7, right? In the Quran, this tribe is not called remember, Imran is given the name of a location for so it's Maryam bin Imran. Not saying that's not a real name. I'm saying that was their name based on that tribe right there. But on the royal level, it doesn't call them the Nagas. In the Quran, it calls them Sabah, which is the old name for Yemen. It actually gives them a location and name. And Sabah is 7 in Arabic. You feel what I'm saying?
Now,
it calls them 7.
That goes back to Jehudi, because Jehudi, when he was creating the wisdom that he's so known for, a lot of people don't know that he had 7 deities helping him.
The Sabah, okay, then you got the Sabaeans. You feel what I'm saying? They're the Sabah people. When you see it in Sheba, you know what I mean? Habisha, you have the Sabians, they use it there. You feel what I'm saying? They have the Saba, Sheba, and Shabazz. That's now Shabazz. There's a lot of controversy about that because it was introduced by Wallace Farr, right? But what a lot of people know is Shabazz is how you would describe the Saba in the Pakistan translation. You feel what I'm saying? When it makes it to Pakistani and gets into the Urdu, the Sabah becomes Shabazz. You feel what I'm saying?
Well,
Wow.
I don't know if you heard
The
when I
order
said
of Quest, interesting, smart motherfuckers still around. They killed the most recent high noble priest, Drew Ali. The order of Quest, okay, well, I haven't heard that theory yet. The order of Quest got up in there somehow or something. I don't know.
See, now we need MOI for that.
Yeah,
one.
he need to hop on. Like, how did the order of Quest infiltrate?
Yeah,
and have
we got to
make
get the OG
MOI?
on that
Holla
one.
at us, man.
Hold
This
on,
is a cold
MOI.
statement.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
MOI. You ever heard of the order of Quest?
I ain't never heard of that order Quest.
Oh,
I
okay.
never heard of order Quest.
Hey, listen, that's the big guns right there. If MOI never heard of it, I don't know.
The order of Quest. Let's look it up. Chrome, you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's deep.
Chrome, you never heard of that? You can hear me?
I don't think he heard of it neither.
Crumb.
yeah.
Oh, the order of
That's
Quest.
how much he hasn't heard of it.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not aware of that.
He super ain't heard of it.
The order of Quest. It look like it's a movie or something, man. Like it's not even. It's a movie. The order of Quest is a compass of both benevolent and. No, somebody just put it in there.
Yeah, and that's the point of this episode, man.
Forces. Man, I ain't never heard of that shit, man. I ain't never heard of that. Now, I'm not saying it's not real, but it look like it's a movie. The Order of Quest. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I never heard of that. And for good reason, because it ain't in the history. I mean, if it was something that was historical, I probably would know it, but this is something new. I'll look into it, though. I'll look into it for sure. But anyway, man, it's almost the 3-hour mark, 2 hours, 50 minutes. We did a real good job tonight, going through a lot of information. A lot of information got put out tonight. I want to tell everybody, be sure to tune in next Sunday, man. Every Sunday we're going at it. Next Sunday, Dr. Inky, as soon as he give me a title, you guys are going to see it. Does that put you on blast?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I love it. I'm down.
As soon as you give me a title, you guys will see that posted. What we're going to do every single Sunday, you guys are going to see a rapid, a lot of stuff drop here on social media, on YouTube, and all the channels with all of our tickers up there for each and every Sunday. At least for the next 6-7 Sundays, we're going to go hard. Working with the good brother Crumb to put together an event coming up for Juneteenth, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you go to crumb.info/tickets. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. CrumbTv.info.
Here, this is what we can do next week. How Freemasonry saved my life and my daughter's life.
Okay. I got that one. And it's going to be interesting, Bill.
I got a question for y'all I want to ask for next week, so I don't want y'all to answer it now. I want to know who was like I don't even know how to describe it now because we the truth. But like Black Mason, like was it Prince Hall or Benjamin Banneker? Like,
oh, wait a minute.
I got a
question about Prince Hall. Wait a minute. I got a question about Prince Hall before we get out of here. I want to know why didn't Prince Hall help the European Masons when they had the problem with the pedophile? You know what I'm talking about? Captain Morgan?
What?
William Morgan?
That's too deep. We gotta do it. We gotta do a whole episode on that.
No, it ain't deep. What Captain Morgan got to do
for the
with Prince
listener?
Hall?
They may not know.
You said Captain Morgan.
So just a little quick history. There was a guy that tried to blackmail some Masons out of some degrees with some information, and they wound up throwing him in the Niagara River. And the word that I got, that's why I was trying to get some questioning, is that Prince Hall and them didn't really, there was some beef that broke out over the fact that the guy washed up in the Niagara River, but either way, the guy's wife was underage. She was a kid, 14 years old. They tried to list her at 16, 17 to clean it up a little bit, but then she wound up being the wife of the guy. She took that manuscript that he was trying to blackmail them with, and she got remarried to the guy who started the Mormon church, and they incorporated everything that he had written up from Masonry into the Mormon church. So if you look up the Mormon church right now, the Mormon church is built like almost 1,000% on Masonry. They got the clothes, the degrees, all that in there. But they got it from this guy, William Morgan, who was, you know, he was a pedophile back in his day, and he had tried to blackmail them out of some degrees and stuff like that. It's a wild story.
Oh yeah, I never heard of that. All I know is Prince Hall came to America with his slave master William P. Hall.
This episode is lit.
You know what I'm saying? And Prince Hall didn't even do anything until he got married to his second wife after Christmas Addicts got shot. If anything, y'all worry about Benjamin Button, you worry about Christmas Addicts was a real revolutionary. Christmas Addict was the first one that started off civil rights back in the 1700s. Fuck 1964, this was 1700s. Christmas Addict was the one leading the movement as a Methodist preacher and a free man. Prince Hall saw him and took cue from him, just like Noble Drew Ali took cue from Father Divine.
Oh my goodness! Now you done brung it to Harlem. Wait a minute.
Because that's where they go from Harlem to New Jersey to Detroit to Chicago. That's it. That's all you're gonna see those movements, because all this stuff was happening. Like I keep telling people, when they're gonna look at it, I don't know. Look at the third Great Awakening. The third Great Awakening in America. That's when your Mormons came out. That's when Islam came out. Everything that we know about now, as far as religion go in America, it does not go past the third Great Awakening. The first Great Awakening is when the Pilgrims came over here, and those Pilgrims were not pilgrims. They was on a pilgrimage. These were the what do you call them? The Puritans, because they changed the Geneva Bible under King Henry VIII. When Prince James, the king of Scotland, Prince of Wales, came, they dedicated a new book to him, and the Puritans got upset, and they put together a what do you call it? A petition, and the petition got rejected. So they had an opportunity to come to the New World on a pilgrimage, and the first place they settled was Pennsylvania, to set up a whole new religious awakening. That's the first Great Awakening. And the second Great Awakening came around 1776. And the third Great Awakening came at the end of the 1800s. So at third Great Awakening, you had people like Noble Drew Ali, who was a student of Sweet Daddy Grace and Father Divine. Sweet Daddy Grace and Father Divine put the more tip of the shame as far as followers goes as black men in the 1800s. Y'all don't know about Sweet Daddy Grace and Father Divine, do you? Because they don't teach y'all.
I know. I know.
I know about Father Divine. I don't know about Daddy Grace.
Look at all these movements. We'll look at Clarence 13X.
I know about Father Divine, though. If I'm not mistaken, was it Father Divine the one that had the house right across from, was it one of the presidents?
That's him right here. He had the largest congregation, the largest, and this is his wife right there.
No, I'm talking about that property he owned.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up. I don't want to drag too long on the episode.
1876, right? Sweet Daddy Grace. This is 1884, man. There wasn't no Morris sign, nothing. There wasn't no movements at all going on. This was Christianity, and then Islam came in. It was Christianity versus Islam. And when Islam came here, it was brought here. But I showed you earlier the brother who brought Islam to America. And because Negroes was just coming out of so-called slavery in 1865, they didn't know which way to go with religion. And they saw opportunity to maximize on these uneducated Negroes through religion. And these Negroes started believing in Islam. Sounded so good to them. It sounded something new to them. And that's how Noble Drew Ali got his followers. That's how MOI got their followers, because they started teaching something different besides the regular Christianity, which was Methodist. Basically, this is under the Methodist Church, because black people could only be Methodist preachers. Look right here what they say. What they say? His contemporary of other religious leaders such as Father Divine, Noble Drew Ali, and Ernest Holmes. Many followers claim miraculous faith healers, while attending services on their ministry, God in return for Christ Jesus. Matter of fact, Father Divine said that he was Jesus in flesh. And people
that was my thing with Father Divine. I know a lot about him, right?
God.
I remember he had like the white people and the white wife, and he was saying he was Jesus, and he just kind of threw me off.
He said he was God, and that's what people like. What's his name? The brother, Dr. Malachi York, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Clarence 13X. Everybody thinking that they Allah and they God in flesh, and the black man's God in flesh. Arm, leg, arm, head. That stuff been out, man. That's old. Y'all better go study religion and stop playing, thinking these people came up with something new. No, it was new to the Negroes because it just came out of slavery. They ain't never heard this stuff before.
Yeah,
this stuff it was
like you said, the first grades. You know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere.
Well, I know about Father Divine from my dad. My dad was moving around with, Nicky Barnes and that kind of, so Father Divine was also one of them guys, you know what I'm saying? Father Divine was one of them guys back in the day. So in that time, you had to be strong in the street in order to have the spiritual movement. And I think that's the part where it gets a little confusing when we look back and we see like there's another side to some of these guys that we know for spiritual movements. It's like, oh yeah, we know.
Well, that's why that go with the 5% nation, because the guy didn't come out on no special outfits or saying, let's rest and he was coming out with the thugs. You know what I'm saying? He was coming out, he wasn't trying to make up his life and nothing like that. He was saying Father Allah, very simple. He wasn't saying my name is Jeffrey / Whoopty Whoop.
And what I'm saying is all of these.
He was saying, man, this is it. You study from here and go from there. You feel? Keep it simple.
And what I'm saying is all these Negroes who got involved in these organizations were pimps, thugs, drug dealers. All of them. I'm gonna do a PowerPoint and show you all of them because I'm not gonna sit here and romanticize none of them Negroes. What's his name? Elijah Cool Bay, sleeping with all them little young ass girls, getting them pregnant. Okay, we can take it to Dr. York. I get the person who was in the camp with him and saw him doing what he was doing. It ain't no damn lie. Okay, we can go to Noble Drew Ali and deal with him too. All of them. And what happens is these new Negroes thinking they get some new information, they begin to romanticize these guys and begin to deify them and all this kind of stuff. Man, I'll burn the whole house down with the truth of this shit. I just don't say nothing.
You already got gasoline. Listen, you got gasoline on your sneakers right now. We already smell the gasoline.
Because the truth never fade nor pass away. Only a fool or duck when you throw the truth at them.
Woo!
They keep saying fantasizing, but I'm telling you, man, this is nothing but a bunch of gangsters. A bunch of jailbird gangsters who got some information while they were sitting down doing their bid, and they got out treating that stuff the same way. That's why right now the Moorish Science Temple, the Supreme, whoever he is right now in Chicago, they treat it like it's a game. Oh man, the Moors you talking about the Moors, they're gonna get you. They ain't gonna get nobody. Get their credit straight, get some land, and start building for real. Quit talking. They just talk. These are talkers. They just talk. Anybody that's involved in these organizations, bro, they just talking and running. They don't own nothing, they don't control nothing. When you really get down to it, ask them put a credit report up. What do you own, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're mimicking the Masonic order. They talk about the Masonic order. You're a Mason. Yeah. Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. Now show me he wasn't. Show me he was not one. The prophet pulled the cover off on 60 side.
Can't nobody show that after
tonight. Hear me out. The only reason he pulled the cover off was because he was in it. You have to be in it to know what to pull off. Inky can't not be a Mason. I'm gonna expose masonry. Have you been in the lodge, Inky? You have not been in the lodge. How are you gonna expose it?
Facts.
You got to be in there.
Facts.
To know what's going on to expose it.
Good brothers, I heard you speak earlier. I was actually just in the audience, and you were talking about
the
whole gang thing coming from the conscious community, or so-called. Vice Lords. I'm sorry.
Oh, he left. I'm just saying we need Crip back for this part. Wherever you get ready to take us.
Oh yeah. We need Crip Jesus back on the mic. Yeah. If I could.
Oh, he just text. He said his phone died.
Oh, okay. If I could focus your attention to the
Please.
5-point star, and right across from the 5-point star is it says love, peace, freedom, justice, truth. Like, okay, that doesn't sound very gang banging to me.
Well, here's how you have it look. I mean, because if even still you got to go for Crips. You got community revolution in progress, and then for Bloods you got brotherly love overcomes oppression and destruction. So you got them, you got them roots there, but things get distorted and things get crazy as time goes along. And
why the glove in the top hat though?
Come on now.
Yeah.
We got the
Come on now.
The top hat, the Eastern Star, the all-seeing
Come on now.
the circle,
and
7, about the 7 in it.
Look at the all-seeing eye over to the right. It says Allah watch over us. Like, oh, okay.
Hold on, they got the 7 right there. They just don't know it's the 7 right there. That's 2-ball cane right there, ain't it?
It is. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Champagne glass should be a wine glass.
Ooh.
Pour all the wine.
Wait. So, or one of these, a chalice.
Yeah, a chalice.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, going back, man, quit playing. Stop playing, man. Stop playing the game, man. Just. That's why I can't get up here with the chat. People, listen, man, because the truth, man. The truth shall make you free. And it's all about knowledge, man. Jesus said, those who do not know shall suffer.
Ooh.
And if you reject knowledge, I shall reject you.
Ooh. Hosea 4:6.
Come on, you know it.
Yeah.
You know.
Listen, my thing is not even Hosea 4:6. My thing is Hosea 4:7. 4:7 is where it's at, because 4:6 is what's quoted. My people die for lack of knowledge. But what's more important is what comes next.
Because they rejected it?
They rejected it.
Come on now.
That's what you said
now.
Yeah.
Because they rejected it. That's the main part right there. People be missing.
But also, too, I want to say this, too. I can just say this for me because I'm sitting here with y'all. That there was a time where I couldn't. Like, some of these same people, it's like they got to come to you the way you are. That was the big thing about Wallace Farr, his story, that he was like a shapeshifter type. Like, he was coming to dudes, he'd eat pork, or like you said, he'd be with the criminals and shit. Like, a lot of the most effective people for us in the state that we've been in, they've been thugs. You know what I mean? Look, I'm Crip Jesus. I'm not the, you know what I mean? If they write the story of what I really do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give a nigga the truth. You feel me? So there's Tecton niggas out here. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, absolutely.
What I'm saying is right here, bro. Like,
I just leave my past where it's at.
Listen, this is for us on the sound of my voice. And Crumb know me. When we go live on these Sundays, man, don't hold back. Forget, man, listen, man. Let loose, man. Don't hold back on nothing. Oh, I gotta meet them where they at. Don't meet nobody. They gotta come meet you where you at. This is God body talk, man. We talking up here above their head. Make them come meet us. Don't come down and meet them. I gotta meet them with. No, you don't. You gonna meet them where they at. They gonna get in the crowd where they at and get off the damn channel. Otherwise, talk, man. Talk what you know and just talk it. Let loose. Let loose. Let them hear it. And if they get mad, they get mad. Whoever get upset, they get upset.
Shoot them all. Let God sort them out.
Come on now. But they can't be mad at truth. They gotta be mad at the truth you're speaking. That's what I tell people. When I come out the book, be mad at the book. Be mad at me. I didn't write the damn book. I'm saying what the book say.
Come on now.
So speak your truth. We're not gonna meet nobody where they at no more. We're not going to the ground floor. We're coming up to the chambers now, man. It goes to you, Dr. Inky. You wanna talk your talk about Mason? Ain't no secrets. Okay? Let me tell you that to your face from everybody. There are no secrets.
Oh,
you don't have none.
Hold on. Wait, listen. When you open up that PDF that you got, like right now, when people go, listen, everybody go right now to the description and click that link.
Please do.
And go down and get the most high nigga, that's what it's called on my website. The most high nigga is 1,147 slides. In there, we show the first original, idea of what the lodge, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're talking about Shu, Tefnut, and Geb, the description of what's a lodge is Shu, Tefnut, and Geb. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all right there laid out. I lays it all the way out. Like, yeah, we lay it out.
Okay. Islam. Well, listen, man. I'm gonna wrap it up. Crumb, if you have anything else to put out there, we put on for 3 hours, which is unprecedented on CrumbTv. 3 hours. That's unprecedented on here. So listen, y'all. This is the new CrumbTv network, man. We're taking over the whole entire internet. We 3 deep in here. You see, we don't Voltron and shit up, man. We got a lot more coming up, a lot more going on. Every single Sunday school, we hitting you in the head with it. I don't think I ever seen me, Crumb, and 2 other brothers on the platform at the same time dropping so much heat. So y'all better get the pens and pads. When notification goes off, subscribe, hit the bell, tap in with us, man. There'll be a lot more coming. Special shouts out to my big bro, Crip Jesus, for stepping in here, man, doing this thing, tapping in. Put a lot of information out there for y'all. Hope y'all took notes. Salute to the good brother Crumb. We appreciate you, bro. And yeah, man. If nothing else, we're gonna definitely tap in with y'all on next Sunday, man. Peace and light.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.